I bid you all good morning, good evening, and good night, wherever you may be watching this transmission. Whether you're watching us from your condo in the sky, to your camper in the woods, or just couch surfing, or maybe on a road trip, or relaxing on your lazy boy. Maybe it's just your day off. People of the night, welcome to Mike in the Night. It is 3 a.m. and something is moving you. So crack open a window, sit back, relax, get some tea or coffee, or some lemon water like myself here. Somebody was saying it was rum, but it's not, because you're tuned into Mike in the Night, the voice of the Commonwealth. Hashtag Mike in the Night. Introduction track by Ralphie, ralphie.co.new Zealand. Check him out. Want to thank everybody out there for all the emails and all the links and all the stories and all the stuff they've been sending me through the week. I've tried to reply to as many as humanly possible. But it is the Christmas season, so I'm kind of busy at the shop. It is busy at the shop. I'm not trying to make up excuses, but it's been really busy. Usually I'm pretty good at getting back to everyone as much as possible, right? Getting back to everybody. So anyways, let's do a really quick channel plug here, and we're going to roll into tonight's show real quick here. And we might have a special guest on the second or maybe the third hour who will be running for mayor of Calgary. I think it was Calgary, he said. Mayor of Calgary. He already ran for mayor of another city in Canada, came in second spot, but he's getting support by the locals. Lots of support for him to run. And so we might have him on the show in the second or the third hour. So that's for people living in and out the province of Alberta in Canada. So remember, we cover the entire Commonwealth here. Okay, guys, well, let's go. Let's do this. The article scan. What is going on? Guys, do not forget to set your reminders for our Christmas special for the 23rd at 6 p.m. Don't forget. And then I think this is going to be the most important Mike in the Night. Mike in the Night 2021 prediction calls. Please don't forget to set your reminders for this one. This is going to be a really good one. Everyone's going to get a 10-minute plug. Everybody. I'm going to call everybody that has ever called into the show back, and I'm going to get them to give us a 10-minute plug on where things are headed in 2021. 2020, by far, in living history, that, the average, person that's been alive since it's, let's say, the 1930s or 40s, in living history, this is probably one of the worst years that we've had when it comes to, I don't know, just disorientation or a misrepresentation, or I don't even know what to tell you guys, to be honest. And we got a lot of back Mike in the Night shows here if you're bored. Last week we covered bank bail-ins, the week before rolling blackouts, and just a ton of stuff. Agenda 2030, the Great Reset, it's all here. Okay, guys, don't forget to follow me on Facebook. I want to thank everyone that's been fanning me on Facebook and being part of the community here. And also, guys, I would like to let you know that this is working out really well. Instagram has been very good to me. So if you guys want to send me show tips here, for some reason, I just get them here for some reason. They don't restrict my messages like Facebook does. So if you want to message me on Instagram, it's a little bit easier. And then there's the almighty here, and that is Parler. Everybody's on everybody, and anybody is on Parler right now. Everybody's on Parler. Lenny Pooh's on here, Amy Burr's on here, everybody's on here, and then all you have to do is message me over here, just like Facebook, and let me know that you are from the show, and I'll just add you as a follow you too. Because when you go to the wall here, oh my God, it's exactly what Facebook used to be. It's exactly what Facebook used to be back in the day, and it's great. It's great to see that things are opening and Parler is doing well, and there's several million people subscribing to Parler every month, several million. So I'm going to give you guys this here if you guys want to join. And music by ralphie.co.new Zealand. I'm going to give you the link to his channel. And if you guys want to follow Ralphie and be part of, talk to him, get him to make you a video, a music video. Here he is right here. He puts up our videos here, and he tags them differently, so we could catch some other or find some other way of getting the videos out there. So eventually things will pick up for, I guess, I don't know what's going to happen to channels like ours. I don't know. And then art by Dano. Not your typical art by Dan. I'll see, maybe get him on the show later, see what he's been up to. Hopefully he's not, he's been, everyone's been feeling down lately about this whole, lockdown. And that's why tonight we're going to be talking about Covey passports. So there it is, Mike in the Night. This mug I have a mug with this image available on Teespring, guys, if you want to check it out. It's the Planner Chaos mug, if you guys want to check it out on the Teespring store. And I also want to thank everybody, guys. I gotta do this. I gotta thank everybody also before we kick off tonight's show for their support on Teespring. Guys, this means so much to me when you guys shop on Teespring. I couldn't believe how much stuff I sold for Christmas here. Just everything. Just sold a bit of everything on for Christmas holidays. For Christmas, I am really happy that people thought of the channel and supported it by buying something for Christmas. That means a lot. It really, really, really means a lot. Anyways, okay, what's going on? Let's get into a bit of news, and then we are going to jump into a couple of callers tonight. Let me take these damn things off because I can't see a damn thing here. All right, let's get into a little bit of news here tonight, guys, so if that's okay with you. So tonight, we're talking about Covey passports coming to a country near you. So before we do that, let's get into a bit of news. WHO finally admits the PCR tests created false positives. Yeah, the Portuguese have been saying that for 2.5, 3 months. And yeah, we go back a few Mike in the Nights, you'll know what I'm talking about. The next dollar problem just has arrived. The Fed now faced with a momentous task encompassing the whole U.S. economy, requiring even faster money printing, and is impossible without destroying the unbacked dollar. We've had Lord Humongous come on many times and explain this to us, and the dollar's not backed. It's not minted, it's printed. Remember, if it's minted, it's backed by something. If it's printed, well, it's just fiat currency that's flying out the back door. Californians can now pay premium to power their homes with manure. Woo! Yeah, I see California. This is what California needs. This is what California needs. The populist American powder keg is primed, but will it be lit? We also should always be wary of falling into the trap of the alarmists. But as 2020 comes to the end, there are some truly unique events happening in the West, especially America, that cannot be ignored. So I don't even know if I could read this on the channel. People should not get the vax. Old people should not give the vax first because they are too white. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say that on this channel. Trump blasts exaggerated media claims of Russia in cyber attack after seeing intel. And then we got Biden seeks talks with Venezuela's Maduro while Juan Guaido shut out. Remember what happened? We talked about Juan Guaido, whatever his name is. Yeah, what happened with him, and that didn't really work too well. And cash-strapped Iraq drastically devalues dinar as fears nationwide unrest grow. And China tails U.S. destroyer in 12th protective sail-through of the Taiwan Strait in 2020. So, yes, there's going to be a lot of stuff, lots of action is going to be taking place south of the border here from us in Canada. You're going to see a lot of action happening in the United States of America in 2020. That's just my opinion. That's what I think it's what I see happening. So this was sent to me like 33 times today. So Calgary police arrest 21-year-old at skating rink after bylaw officers say crowd violated Covey restrictions. So the kid's alone on the ice here, and let me see if this damn thing replays. Let's see if this damn thing will replay or it's going to play a commercial. So there it is. It was posted 3 hours ago. So the kid, I think the kid's just standing there. And these are whatchamacallits? Bylaw officers. They're not even police. They work for the city, and I think they tasered him here or something. And they start putting their hands on him, but they cut it off early. So they go, they trip the guy, they look like they're putting him down on the floor. I have a few photos of them putting their knees on his back so he could barely breathe. And that's our bylaw officers for us. I think I made it clear for our local bylaw officer, if they came back, I'd have him arrested for trespassing. That's just in my town. I don't know what happens in your town with your bylaw officers. But yeah, there it is right there. Calgary police I don't know what this is. This might be something else. And then they're going after rink rules. And then my son was there and took the video. A bunch of cops with taser out arresting kids and using unnecessary force for playing hockey and skateboarding. It was bad. The kids didn't deserve that. And then after you get, and then you get one of those, whatchamacallits on here. The guy that was arrested was 21, no longer a kid. He would not comply with what the police was telling him to do. In my opinion, some of these people need to go outside and go on an anti-rally for Stefan Molyneux and stuff like that. Those are those people that simplify and take everything. My son's always going to be my kid, my baby. You know what I'm saying? So but when you get these college graduates that come in here with these big, he's no longer a kid. Until it happens to them, then they try to find support somewhere, right? And then people wonder why nobody likes them, or why nobody likes them, or they have no friends. You know what I'm saying? China's fishing fleet heading for Australia amid trade war. Yeah, see, so China is now going to start doing its own fishing in Australian waters, and there's nothing Australia could do about it because Australia is an autonomous region of China, period. Full stop. So is Canada, so is the UK, and so is New Zealand. Autonomous regions. We sold them all our housing, our pre-builts. We sold them everything. They bought our mines. They bought everything. Our mines, our everything. It's an autonomous region. Sean Lieberman saying, Mike Martins, they did not tase him. They need him a few times. Ocean is the kid's name. Okay. That's good to know. So there it is right there. See? Okay, let's move on. All right, so we're going to be talking about Covey passports. Pasaporte, please. You arrive to the Mexican border. They usually say, Buenas tardes. ¿Quién es tu negocio aquí en México? Tú tienes un pasaporte. That's the first thing they ask you. And they ask you for your travel documents. So we looked over at good old Wikipedia. A passport is a travel document usually issued by a country's government to its citizens that certifies the identity of and nationality of its holder primarily for the purpose of international travel. Standard passports may contain information such as the holder's name, place, and date of birth, photograph, signature, and other relevant identifying information. Many countries have either begun issuing or plan to issue biometric passports that contain embedded microchip, making them machine readable and difficult to counterfeit. So here it is. That's just what Wikipedia, this is what a passport or a definition of a pasaporte means. Now, so I kind of wanted to throw this in first. So we got to be careful with our language. We're going to call the V word a serum, the serum, because freedom of speech is gone. So we got to kind of walk around, or we got to tiptoe. It's like we're walking on an eggshell. So we got to kind of tiptoe around what is happening when it comes to how we discuss certain things so that we're not on the hook or not in trouble. Okay, Moderna serum confers at least 3 months immunity, says study. What does this mean? This means, well, this serum that they want to inject in you only lasts for 3 months. Covey serum lasts for 3 months. So what do you got to do? You got to get vaxxed 4 times a year? Is this what they want you to do now? Are the fatalities later on down the road going to be, well, look how many people have been dying of Covey, all these numbers. Look at all these numbers. Look at all these deaths that we have on record. Then basically people that die from administering this would be basically, in all words, one of those statistics. Oh, no, it was Covey. It wasn't the vaccine. We tried to save him with the vaccine, but Covey took him. So, yeah. All right, let's go over to some comments here, guys. So if you're just joining us, don't forget to join us live. Amy Burr saying they can shove their passport somewhere. Lord Humongous, algorithm enslavement. Oh yeah, I've been a slave to the algorithm for years. I just hope a big YouTube channel comes along one day and says, man, Mike Martins is the Rudy The Rudy. You remember that football movie, if you guys are old enough to know what I'm talking about? The Rudy of YouTube. Never stops, always persistent, wants to get his message out. And maybe one big channel one day might say that and say, hey, man, I have respect for the guy, you know? He really gets out there, you know? Okay, Lord Humongous saying algorithm enslavement. We got Layla in the comments. Shinny Happy saying, no need to travel. Wherever you go, you'll be pretty much see the same thing. Okay, I don't like to disclose my finances, says Sean. Ben says, take the cocktail job. The cocktail jab. I'm sorry. Yeah, so it'll be said that they didn't get enough serums and demand more serums. Exactly, Amy Burr. We try to save them with the serum. Look at the backlog of all the deaths. Look at all the people that are contracting this. Look at all this. And they're just going to historically use the historical fake numbers that they've built up over this last year, right? And China's been free of this for 6 months now. No second wave there. Yes. And yeah, it's going to keep going and going and going and going. Like remember the Energizer Bunny? It keeps going and going. Oh man, those were the heydays, the free days, if you know what I'm talking about. So Moderna serum confers at least 3 months immunity. You can't make this stuff up. That's what I have to show you this, because anyone with their head screwed on right will look at this and say, this guy's just making this up for people to watch him. No, this is CTV News. This is our government-run state media here in Canada that's got bailed out a quadrillion times by taxpayers' money. So this is state-run media, Canadian state-run media, to properly word it, right? You go on YouTube, you look at RT or Press TV, or you look at anything else, it says at the bottom, this is Russian state-run media. In Canada, you go on Canadian News on YouTube, it doesn't tell you it's state-run media, even though it's 100% state-run media. So there it is. So this is it. Washington, the Moderna serum, which was recently demonstrated to have 94% efficiency, causes the human immune system to produce potent antibodies to endure for at least 3 months. The study showed Thursday. I don't think potent antibodies. You want to have that going on 24/7 for the rest of your life? This is like a really bad cell phone plan that you can't get out of. It's going to cost you everything you have to get out of this bad cell phone plan. Okay, so like other serum produced by Pfizer and BioNTech, it is based on a new technology that uses genetic material from the mRNA messenger ribonolic acid. I don't even know what that is. Acid. The mRNA is encased in a lipid molecule and is injected into the arm, where it causes cells inside the muscles to build a surface protein of the Covey. Okay, so basically this tricks the immune system into believing it's infected with the microbe and trains it to build the right kind of antibodies for when it encounters the real virus. We're in a nightmare. This is an absolute nightmare. All right, so let's go here. So I made a video earlier today that's getting quite a bit of views. Canadians may face travel restrictions for years if Covey vaccine not available for everyone. So now we kind of try to break down the language in this one because this is a very big deal. Now, they're telling us 45 different things here, okay? They're telling us 45. Let me tell you, let's break it down. First, Canadians may face travel restrictions. So that means we will be facing travel restrictions. When state-run Canadian media says that, that means we will be facing travel restrictions for years. Now, what's years mean? What does years mean? Oh, I haven't been to Portugal in 10 years. What's 10 years, Mike? Well, 10 years. Right? Well, I haven't been it's been years since I've went surfing. What's years, Mike? What's that? 35 years. So that's the problem here, right? If Covey vaccine not available for everyone, so does the entire country need to be entirely administered this serum for everybody to start traveling again? What if 2 people opt out on not taking the serum? Then what happens? If 2 people opt out on taking the serum, does the rest of the country get punished and no one could travel? That's what I'm trying to find out here, because the way this is worded is a very interesting way to word things. They're using language as a weapon against us, and that's what they've been doing for years. They've been using language in a way where it's basically destroying what they're trying to tell us. So here's our great leader. Canada's great leader is just this is a great leader here.
I can announce that Canada has secured our second agreement for early doses of COVID-19 vaccines. Canada is now contracted to receive up to 168,000 doses of the Moderna COVID-19 vaccine.
So that's the one. So let me get this straight. Let's put our ducks in a row here. Moderna. It's the one that lasts 3 months, the Moderna. He mentioned Moderna in his address to the great people, and Moderna is right here, and this is the one that lasts 3 months, and this is the one that they want to get in, I guess,
before the end of December, pending Health Canada approval. These doses are part of the guaranteed 40 million doses we have secured from Moderna, and deliveries could begin within 48 hours.
I thought he was going to make a pledge or some sort of thing about housing affordability or the homelessness, or maybe he would talk about middle-class Canadians being forced into homelessness and living on the streets, maybe talking about the fentanyl and all the other issues we're having here in Canada. Maybe they could be talking about, there's lots of things they could be talking about, but I guess this is, priority, right? And if you don't have cable, you wouldn't even know this stuff is happening. Because no one in their right mind is going to go on social media to watch this. And that's why social media companies are going after channels like little micro channels like this, because they want us out of the picture so they could push their agenda full force, right? So the Covey vaccine card versus the immunity passports, what's the difference? After receiving your first shot, you will get the Covey card, but will be at your ticket to return to normal activities. Here's what we know. So here it is. They're breaking it down, telling you what you're allowed to go with, what you're allowed to do with the with the card. The Covey card is a wallet-sized card that details your personal Covey information. It's designed to be helpful reminder to each person who receives their first shot to be aware that they need to return to get the booster shot. For example, the serum may require you come back at least 3 weeks later, while the other may require you to return in a month for the booster. So this is a card, there it is right there. They want to make sure that you come back and you don't forget to. So this card will be there, and there's many of them to fill out here with dates, many lines here to fill out. So going back to what they're telling us here, going back to how they're basically going to shut us down, period. And now even with the serum, Covey tests will be the passport to travel in 2021. So there you go. You want to travel? It's going to be tough. The big picture, global travel could begin to see a comeback in later in 2021. So this is what they're allowing us to know, okay? As people get the serum and international borders reopen, but the healthiest people, those most likely to travel, will be, injected last. I'm just trying to reword it so I'm not saying too many bad words here. In partially injection world, passengers will need to still wear a mask to get tested before, during, and after their journey. So here it is. They're already giving us a little bit of insight on what we need to do, how we need to do, and what is in order for us. Australia's border restrictions. Here are the new state and territory Covey rules for New South Wales travelers. Now, and then Covey, they went through this massive lockdown, and then they had one case, and then the media was all over that one case. I think it was a week or two ago. I think it was in Sydney. I wasn't sure if it was in Melbourne or Sydney. Let me know in the comments. The media was all over this, like stormtroopers into Poland. Okay? And it's phenomenal how they were all over that, and then no one's talking about the economy, the shutting down of businesses. All they're talking about is this one case. Oh, Covey, who was with this person? Blah blah blah. Someone got sick. Oh my God. We're gonna look at that. We're gonna probably call someone in Australia that could tell us what this new territory border restrictions are, and we're talking about borders within the Australian territory. So there's northern, west, southwest, Western Australia, right? So we'll find out what happens here. UK imposes tougher Covey restrictions in England amid surging cases, new virus strain. Oh my God, surging cases there again in England. So Christmas gatherings must stop. Singapore firm trailing use of digital health passports to verify travelers' Covey test results. Again, they're going to set up this right here. It's going to be an acceptance thing that's going to be built in electronically, and they're going to know when you book your ticket and when you do everything to make sure that you are valid. And it says right there, Covey verification right there. It says it right there, and there it is. There it is. It's called the segregated travel lane for business travelers from all countries. So there it is. Safe travel badges, and you have to display your code. You have to show your travel badges. Wow. And let's see what this thing says. Let's skip ahead so we don't get hit by the.
Say their solutions have already led to benefits like shorter quarantines elsewhere. Gwyneth Teo with this exclusive.
Now, we all need a passport to travel, but what about a digital health passport? An app on your phone that has your medical information.
Oh, God. I don't really like the sounds of this.
Such as your COVID-19 swab test result, and in future, whether you've been vaccinated. Now, this could be an answer to opening up cross-border travel in future.
Oh, so in the future. So we're not even going to open borders right now. There's in the future. Wow. Can employers make the Covey serum mandatory? The law isn't clear. They'll make it mandatory. You. I think maybe for government jobs. Ooh, public sector workers. I get a lot of people, like growing up, when I'm in my late teens and like, I work for the government. I got a good job. I'm with the government. I've always been private sector. I've never worked for the public sector in my life. I've always been private. I've always did my own thing. But now, are they going to make it mandatory? I see public sector making it mandatory because you're a public worker. You're in front of the people. Yeah, I could see that. All right, let's see here. Let's go into the comments. So, Paul is saying they are isolating northern Sydney only, but for 3 days. Okay, anyone in the workplace installing Microsoft Teams in their meeting rooms and book a room, you have to be to sign in audio, video recorded by Microsoft. Thanks, Bill. Oh, wow. Okay. All right. So that's that right there. Covey vaccine could be the ultimate gateway drug. And by mid-2021, and people arrive at the airport or line up to attend at a concert or baseball game, they pull out their phones and tap an app that shows whether they've had the serum or perhaps a test, and breeze through the gates. So you need papers. You need the papers, please. Papers. I don't know what to tell you guys, man. This is getting really bad. So there it is. PCR Covey test reliability doubtful, says Portuguese judges. So we've been following what they've been saying here in Portugal. Say, now from reading the article, the judges conclude the probability of a person receiving a false positive is 97% or higher. According to the investigation, this only happens if the cycle threshold is minimum 35. As it happens in most laboratories in the USA and Europe, reads the judgment. The information is considered to be inaccurate by Vasco Barreto, who states that where he works in Codico, 42% of the positive tests, only 25 or less cycles were needed, and there is scientific evidence of high capacity of the virus spread from positive cases to less than 25 cycles. So, I mean, there goes right there. So judges are looking at this and saying, the PCR test is unable to determine beyond a reasonable doubt that positive results corresponds, in fact, to the infection of a person by SARS-CoV-2, said the Lisbon Court of Appeal. It's deemed unreliable, and there's no proof that the diagnosis actually works, according to Portuguese health officials. And they're just sick and tired of this. They're saying lockdowns are absolutely barbaric and against human rights, and this is really sad. This is really we don't ever go to science. See, science, in my opinion, science was invented not to help big pharma make medication to cure us and make us live longer. Science wasn't invented to make automotive cars using cold fusion to power our vehicles with seawater. No, science was invented to debunk Christianity. That's it. That's all science is there for. Oh, Mike, the jacket you're wearing, science. No, it's not. It's a bunch of tailors that worked and sewed this and handmade this jacket for me. Oh, but the computer, the science involved, there's science involved, but it's computer science. It's different. They want to make money, right? So they sell computer hardware and software, right? So you got to look at how is science benefiting us? What is the true, real, tangible? Look what it's doing with vaccines and all this stuff. The serum. Okay. All right, we got the comments going on here, going pretty fast. I don't know if I got everyone for coming on the mic of the night tonight. Let's see if we can get our. I promised Senor. Where is he? I'm gonna get Jacob on the show first. I don't know if he's gotten arrested yet, or what he's doing. He's not. Jacob, turn on your Skype, buddy, if you get a chance, please. All right, let's get. I want to get. You know what? We'll save the Raven for a bit later. I'm not sure if he's working, so let me know, Raven. Let me know in the yeah, so Lenny Pooh saying science was hijacked. Exactly. Global warming. Florida will be underwater by 2003. I was in Florida in 2003. It wasn't underwater. I could guarantee you it wasn't, because I was there. All right, let's see who we can get on the phone. Oh, yeah, we got to get, what's her name? Lenny Pooh wanted to come on to talk about this. So we have to, okay, let's get Jacob on first. He just turned on his Skype. And see if he picks up.
Mike, how are you?
Who the hell is this?
It's Jake.
I know it is.
You're scaring me.
Yeah. Anyways, brother, you doing okay?
I am. I'm watching your show right now.
How did that business thing you were working on? Are you going to be okay?
No, it didn't work out, but I have other things going, other irons in the fire, so to speak.
Good for you. I just don't want to hear you down and out, okay?
Well, I don't want to hear you down and out either.
Yeah, losing is not an option.
This last month or so has been dragging on all of us.
Yeah. So tonight's topic: Covey passports. Right. We're calling it the serum tonight. What's the deal? Like, I mean, I know. Okay, they're doing this. They're proposing it, but let me ask you one question that no one's ever asked anybody that I've seen anywhere in any part of media.
Right.
Could this Covey thing and this thing that we're talking about tonight, these Covey passports, could this be the smoke screen that we are helping to provide while something else even more radical is happening in the background that we don't even know? Because you know how we're talking about this and we're all full blast on this and we're all, what do we do about this? We got to talk about this while we're talking about this. Something else like something realistically is happening in the back end. That's going to be even a bigger surprise for 2021. Jacob, unload. Tell us what's going on.
So my suspicion is that you already suspect something, right? So when I'm out and about, I communicate with people. I ask them, like, do you think this is real? Do you think, like, what do you think is going on, right? I get a multitude of reasons as to why this is bogus. All kinds of, from wild conspiracy theories to regular ones, right? My suspicion is this is, the economy was chugging off the cliff in 2018, right? So my suspicion is that this is to mask a financial collapse.
Okay,
and we have not yet felt.
I get that, Jacob. Even the Raven brought this up like 8 months ago. He actually discussed this was, but
he's on point.
But let me ask you something, Jacob. Is this where we're at right now? Right now, is this the smoke show and mirrors still? And we're buying it hook, line, and sinker, and we are on, and we are here talking about this, wasting our time while something's happening in the back room.
Well, if you crack open a history book, it's all there. You know what I mean? This is the history. The story repeats itself. They just change costumes. So, like, if you wind the clocks back to like 2002, they spent untold billions of dollars crafting a story to trick us into war in like Iraq. Right? They're still there. It's 2021. They're still there. So it'll become more evident as the years roll by what the motive and what the plan really was. Right now, back in like 2001, maybe some of our friends here are too young for this. Even immediately after September 11th, people were already asking questions, right? Mm-hmm. And now it's common knowledge that whole thing was some sort of great Gatsby-style robbery. Essentially, is what it was, right?
Well, a lot of those businesses were insured in the billions weeks before.
Oh yeah, and that building was empty. It was empty.
Yeah,
it was an asbestos tower, right?
Right.
And who knows what it would have cost to demolish it. Moving forward, right? As an investigator, you walk backwards through the crime scene, right? It's easier to walk backwards and forwards because it's all retrospect, right?
Right.
So the evidence will become more evident as time moves on. So I believe that this would be the perfect smokescreen for the next 5-10 years. We can blame all of our problems on this mysterious invisible enemy.
Jacob,
nobody seems to be sick.
Jacob, I'm 42 years old. I don't want to waste 5-10 years
Neither do I.
My older years raising my kids, of my older years and my nice older age. I don't want to waste 5, 10, maybe 15 years on this song and pony whatever trick show.
Right. Do you know anyone that's sick? Do you know anyone that's died?
I haven't got sick this. I haven't got sick this year.
Yeah, I haven't. I couldn't even tell you the last time I got sick. I think I got malaria in like the late 90s when I was in the armed forces. But I couldn't even tell you. I don't know anyone that's got sick or know anyone that no one knows anyone, right? I saw a cholera epidemic in Sri Lanka, right? And when people die and the numbers that they say, they're in the street, right? There's only so much that can be handled. Like, so I'm calling BS. And like 8 months ago, I was on their side and I actually believed that this was a problem because they were genuinely afraid in the early press conferences and their late, January of last year. They seemed quite adamant about this, right? But they could have been BS'd into believing this also, right?
Right.
As you can see by their little hot mic session that happened this year, right? The folks that are giving the press conferences.
Hot mic session. We get one every week now.
Right. So they caught the Ontario ministers.
Yes, we did.
Essentially confessing that they have no idea what they're going to say. They just read off a teleprompter.
Exactly.
So they have no idea. So I'm shocked. Like, what kind of questions could you ask somebody that has no idea what's going on?
Yeah. So you're going to ask someone that doesn't know they don't even know if they're tricking or treating. That's the problem.
Right. And the mask is off. Right. Once the mask is off, that's 50% of your enemy's power. Your adversary is their ability to deceive you. Once you know they're full BS, then it's over. It's inevitable. So I suspect that we'll see sacrifices. They'll start sacrificing public people. He's to blame. She's to blame. And then we'll see all kinds of political movement in the next year or 2 years.
Jacob, do you see people refusing to travel going forward and not take the vax and just refuse to travel, and then see airlines and basically tourism and everything basically collapse? Or do you see everyone filing in line to take this serum so they could go ahead and do their travels?
Yes. A friend of mine's in the coal business, right? And they have an office in Australia, and they're already trying to apply for exemptions from said travel restrictions that haven't even been put in place yet. Wow. So the energy sector is already preparing for their workers to apply for exemptions. So they do not plan on taking this serum. Is that what you want to call it?
The serum, yeah.
Yeah, whatever you want to inject into their body, they're already applying for exemptions for it. So I suspect that business travel in 2021 will be the mainstay, and like personal travel and stuff will be heavily restricted. But of course, no one will affect business, right? So if you have a legitimate business-related reason to travel, I'm sure you'll have no problem. It'll be vacation stuff. They'll crack down on the civilians trying to have vacations, essentially.
Oh, God forbid someone goes over to Cuba and has a Mai Tai.
Well, that's exactly the whole point, right?
Right.
So I got a friend of mine is telling me that Australia and China is having their trade war is getting very, very bad with their energy sector.
It is.
So he's telling me that the Chinese government is eyeballing coal reserves in other countries. Because
yes, in Mongolia.
That's right, because their mainstay provider just shut the door, essentially.
I hope to God Australia has a backbone and tells China where to go. I'm not kidding.
Well, what we're hearing here in Canada is that it was China turning them away. But what they're saying in India, because India has fantastic news, by the way, they're saying it's the other way around. Australia is denying them.
Good. Because China would say that. China is the type of country they would lose a war and then they'd go on the news and say they won.
Yeah, exactly. They would never ever admit that it was them being shut out. So I suspect a turnaround is happening in the Asian Indo-Pacific area, and that's probably good news.
Okay,
but it wouldn't be good news for, say, New Zealand, because New Zealand just has a tiny population.
Yeah,
right?
5 million, and I think New Zealand has become an autonomous region of China.
Yeah. So have we. It's probably worse than we know, right? Mm-hmm. The leaks we're getting now are over a year old, so who knows what happened. But exactly. I suspect people will be sacrificed.
Now, Jacob, I know you're a former or a licensed pathologist, right?
Yeah, I was, yes. Not anymore. Currently.
That's fine. I need to ask you, the serum, they want us to inject this serum every 3 months because the serum apparently has antibodies that can only last. Let me just get exactly what they said. Let me let me bring up what they said to the T, okay?
Yes,
Moderna serum confers at least 3 months immunity, says study, and people need to take an immunity and a booster shot after again. So, what does that mean?
Well, I imagine anyone that's get a B12 injection, vitamin injection, when they get the syringe inject. Usually, ladies get this, and that's something that's every 3 months, right? And so, my suspicion already is that they're injecting you with vitamin B12.
Why would they do that? Because you will look younger and you will be live longer,
right? They could inject you with saline, and you wouldn't know, especially if you're just a regular person, unless you took a sample of what it was you're being injected and put it through the spin cycle and see what's in it. Do you know what I mean? Any type of can we say virus, or what words are we policing tonight?
No, we could say virus. That's fine.
Okay. So any type of virus that's protein based has kind of like a membrane around it that's luminescent. That's why they call it something similar to corona, right? It's illuminated under ultraviolet light. So this is like a soft membrane that it uses to stick to, and it feeds on whatever it can stick to. It wants really soft, gummy flesh like your lung tissue, right? Anything like that, once it meets resistance, it's going to try and camouflage itself or mutate, as it were. And this is why they try the influenza vaccine every year. But I find that really strange because it would take more than a year for us to find out what it mutated into.
Okay.
Right? So I think they're this is an attempt at a smokescreen, as it were. Because syringes and COVID, not COVID, any type of inoculation program are actually really cheap to do. It's not a very expensive thing to come up with an inoculation for something. It's how much time and how safe it is to do it. So like the vaccine for Ebola, for example, they started doing that in 1958, and they're still perfecting it now.
Wow. Okay, what
it's
about...
still not 100% effective.
Let me ask you, do you think employers are going to make the Covey serum mandatory? Now, here, hold on. I think it's going to be public sector workers are mandatory to take it. Public, not private.
I most definitely think Canadian public sector employees will be mandated into taking something like that, for sure. Other countries, we all live in little bubbles, right? So we're not aware that, like, this whole globalization scheme, it only exists in like 2 or 3, 4 countries. Most of the world is not on board with this at all, right? This just shows you the level of control that they tell you that they have. This great reset and all this nonsense is nothing without, like, the United States, for example. You know, they're not on board with that, right?
But Mafia Joe, it looks like he's the mainstream media select president.
Right. I feel that they've painted themselves into a corner. They want Americans to fight each other. They want there to be conflict. They want them to burn cities down and act a fool. They want that because they've made the situation so no matter who gets voted in now, there's going to be insanity and chaos. Yeah. Because the supporters of Trump would definitely not accept that. And the supporters of the Democrats, or Joe Biden, I suppose, will definitely not accept that either.
But the problem is, and if, let's say, the mainstream media select president, as Joe Biden moves ahead, does his thing, they're going to be blaming the Trump administration until 2155.
Oh, absolutely. It's the perfect ploy. You have this invisible boogeyman that you can blame all your problems on, right?
Oh, they're going to be 25 administrations. They're going to be on the 85th president, and it's still going to be the Trump administration that caused all these problems.
Yeah, I'm very. I suspect there will be all kinds of political movement this coming year. It won't be just the United States. There'll be all kinds of political turbulence, so to speak. Snap elections called, and bizarre events, particularly Europe. Because the European Union is having a very, very bad time right now.
Yeah. Last week we were covering what was happening in France. The country's like falling apart and burning and getting trashed, and none of the Western media covers any of that.
So these millions of French folks that are protesting in Paris, ask them to see their COVID papers and see what reaction you're going to get from them.
Yeah.
So you're really going to push this mandatory vaccine on people in their current state? Try that with an American who's lost everything, right? I think 50 million Americans are like on food stamps.
It's good. Well, there's about 8 or 16 million Americans that are going to go off of the forbearance, and they're going to lose their properties.
That's right. Now, I know you're a money man. If you were a bank manager, would you want 90% of your loans out returned with sticks and bricks?
No.
Or no, you wouldn't want that. You'd want the money, right?
I'll actually I'll trade it in with the Fed so they could package it as a bad security loan.
Well, that's what I foresee all kinds of massive write-offs, particularly in the private property sector. And we have extra layers of nonsense, like in the Commonwealth countries, like Canada, for example.
Yeah, it's been a poop show across the Commonwealth. All right, Jacob, it's been over 16 minutes, bud. I wanted to get you in first for a quick plug. Give us an update on what you think, and I'm gonna get someone else on the phone and see what they think. I appreciate your
Fantastic.
feedback.
I'm always here, Mike.
Stay
Cheers.
on your feet and stay strong, okay? You might stumble, but don't lose, okay?
Yeah, it's all good. We're all in this together, like the real people, not the NPC crowd.
Okay. God bless you.
Okay. Cheers.
Bye. That is a man, Jacob, out of the city of Toronto in the GTA, Greater Toronto Area. All right, so let's get over. I promised we'd get Linny on the show because she told me, Linny, turn on your turn on your Skype. Looks like the Raven has a Skype. Oh, it looks like Lord Humongous is on here tonight too. Let me see who else is here. We haven't heard from David in a while. I want to get David on the show too. Matthew Illu. You know what? I know Matthew's in the comments. Let me call Matthew really quick. I just want to know if what's happening there with these interprovincial border shutdowns or lockdowns in Australia. So yo, Matthew.
Mike.
I've been trying to reach you. You're a lot tougher to get than the president.
Yeah, I've been playing golf, mate.
I'm kidding. Are you doing okay, buddy?
Yeah, good.
So lockdown
trying to
is down.
work
You're
it.
playing golf. Are you playing golf right now?
No, I just finished.
Oh, okay. Now, so lockdown is done? Or is everything reopened? We just saw an article that they're going to start closing borders down.
Yeah, Northern Sydney, suspected cases going on there. So I'm just waiting for them to start saying, oh, we're shutting down the borders to each state again.
Do you think, Matthew, and this is just my opinion, in my opinion, this is what I'm thinking here. Are they shutting this down because of the mass exodus out of Victoria?
Possible.
Because I'm thinking they're shutting this down here because of the mass exodus of people fleeing to America, believe it or not, from Canada.
From Canada.
Yeah, from Canada to America. Like people that are like have awoken to this or something. I don't know. So, but everything seems okay. You could go further away from your home now?
Yeah. There's no real restrictions going on at the moment, but it's just the Sydney stuff going on now.
Interesting. Do you think they're going to do a Victoria-style lockdown down there?
I will not be surprised if it's by next weekend because it seems like they want to ruin Christmas.
Man.
Why else would they get the case numbers rolling like a week before Christmas?
Well, they want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas. Now, Matthew, tell the people on the phone, tell the people watching how long you were on lockdown in Melbourne.
Oh man, it was 3-4 months.
24 weeks, wasn't it?
Something like that, yeah. It was a long time.
Yeah, you were in a long time. You actually made me this. Guys, he made me this. This Mike in the Night patch here, I have it here. I still have it in front of me when I do my show. That he made me this, and this is individual strings. This is a lot of work, people, okay? So you must have a lot of time on your hands.
Yeah, and now I'm back to golf and doing some other stuff. So a lot of people are getting out, being active now, and not just staying at home so much.
Well, it's summer there now.
Yeah, but even before lockdown, people were just hanging at home, PlayStation and movies.
Mm-hmm.
It's like golf is hard to get on a golf course now because everyone just wants to get out of the house.
Are they talking vaccine there, or what are they talking there? Are they talking about mandatory? What are they doing?
They were basing the plans off of the UK one.
Oh, that's terrible plan.
Yeah, and they said, we're going to postpone it because they're not getting the results they want.
Oh, my goodness. Have you been sick this year, Matthew?
No, I haven't.
Do you know anyone that has ever been sick? I'm being sarcastic. In the last year, do you know anyone locally that's been sick?
There's been a couple of people at my work that thought they had it and they went and got tested. But no, I can't say I know someone that had it.
Huh. So this is the problem we're having now.
Yeah.
So what do you call it, predicting? Do you see anything down the line this year? I know we're coming to the end of the year, but your summer just started there. Do you see you're kind of predicting the lockdown of the borders by next week? Anything else?
Yes, I could see it come back again and they start locking down.
Because I saw those 5G tower photos you sent me.
Yeah, the internet's just gone crazy with all the antennas. Like the phone towers, they're getting all ramped up. Lots of antennas all over them.
Holy crap. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, Matthew,
So-
anything else?
Actually, starting to notice a few more for sale and lease signs outside of buildings and houses.
Yes, the Australian proper that got in at the top want to get out of this housing market right now.
Yeah.
They're
There
gonna
hasn't been-
go. We're looking at about 5 to 6 million people want to get out of this market.
Yeah, it wasn't so much a sudden burst of signs. It's just been a slow creep into the market.
Yep, we're gonna see. Keep your finger on the pulse with that, and let us know what's happening with that, because that's gonna be a huge summer of big sell-offs for you guys.
Yeah, at least the next 6 months it should be keeping on going there.
All right, Matthew. Thank you so much for letting us know. Keep us updated on what's happening there, and keep sending me pictures of stuff. Okay.
Sure. One last thing.
Yeah.
Fauci approved Santa Claus for traveling all around the world.
Who?
Fauci.
Who the hell's that? Oh,
Dr. Fauci.
Yeah, okay, yeah. He approved Santa. Okay, good. The kids are going to get a good night's sleep on Christmas Eve then, so they don't have to worry because Santa has been cleared for all COVID restrictions, right?
I want to see his vaccine certificate before he comes here.
Oh, yes. It is your country, so you got to maybe start putting in some laws there to protect your folk, right?
Yeah, true.
All right, Matthew, have fun.
right.
We'll talk soon, okay?
Sure, no worries.
God bless you.
All right, thanks, Mike. Bye.
That is Matthew in Victoria, Australia. We called him a few times while he was in lockdown for, I think it was 4/8/12, 4/8/12, 16/20. I think it was 24 weeks he was in lockdown. We got Stephen Thomas in Melbourne, Australia, too. That was 20 plus weeks on lockdown. And we kept in touch with him. Like, he couldn't even leave. He couldn't go out to get groceries. It was a nightmare. And they're trying to bring that around the world. Mike, what are your polling results for the serum? Okay, VMan239, that's a good point. Let's bring this up real quick here before we get our next caller in. Where the heck is that? That would be under my channel. Let's go to the Mike Martin's channel, article scan. Article scan, here we go, community. All right, let's go down. So this is an article by RT. Billy Gates says bars and restaurants should sadly be closed for 46 months. No return to normal until 2022. 2022. That's a McChronicle. Here we go. Nope. What will happen? So first one I asked here was, what will happen next? Heck, it's 2020. Anything could happen. So people were to pick between digital. So in first place, we got mandatory vax, 31%. Global digital currency. Food shortage in second place. And then bail-ins in third place. Martial law in fourth place. And global digital currency in fifth place. So let's go to our vax results here. See, I share a lot of other channels' videos here on my channel to help them get more people watching their channels too. This was a big one. Do you think the world's health advisor Bill Gates could do 10 push-ups? And 71% believes that he cannot do 10 push-ups. And here it is. Who here is taking the vax? 346 votes. 12% says, why, yes, of course. No way, Jose, 85%. And I have already received the vax, 3%. So those are the numbers for that. So somebody asked Pfizer, Bill Gates numbers, those specific numeros. So thank you for that. And all right, let's move on. Let's get another caller on. We got. All right, yeah, guys, message me also here on Instagram. And then get on Parler right now. Here, I'm going to give you my Parler. Parler is like what Facebook used to be. I'm following Amy Burr. I'm following. I think Jem Rose is on there too. Linny Poo's on there. I didn't see Lord Humungus on there. I think Mitch is on there. Mitch Madden, are you there? I know Ralphie's on there too. I wonder who's on there. So Steve the Plumber needs to get on there. We need everybody on Parler. It's basically your good old-fashioned Facebook. All right, let's get our next caller in. This is, we'll get Lenny in real quick.
Hey, Mike. How are
Hey, Lenny, how you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Okay, so okay, let me ask you the first question real quick. Could this, what we're talking about, be their plan to get us talking about this, to get us all riled up while they actually work on a bigger plan behind the scenes? Is what we're talking about tonight, the Covey passport, the smoke and mirrors before they actually roll something out that we have no idea about?
Well, the whole thing is a rollout. So the whole point of Covey is, of course, the Covey pass. That's the point. Yeah, because the whole point is you got to prove your vaccination. That's a new thing. And then comes how are you going to prove it? And then mixed all in one is your ID and cryptocurrency. And it's all wrapped up in one. And that's the end game. That's how it is.
But what could they achieve from this? We're just going to create our own black markets.
Well, here's the thing. So like Amy Burr said, I love that she said that. She was right. Because you know how we've always said hidden in plain sight, right? Mm-hmm. The evil ones, they're here. They're running the show. That evil spirit runs the show. She's right. It's in plain sight. There's a book. There's books written. There's, the Great Reset. Everyone knows Agenda 21. Everyone knows Agenda 2030. These aren't even secrets. So if we know that they're trying to control, it's a grab on the world. They already do, that in ways, but there's new technology now. So with the new technology comes a nice new way to manage all these people, right?
And that's why they need the 5G.
That is, of course, part of it. That is it. Yep, that's
because without the 5G, they can't run this multi-cameras, multi-surveillance, multi-trackers, multi-this, multi-that.
Yeah, 5G is going to be inside us. So that's the whole point. So we have till 2030, right? So how do you get us from here where we are? How do you get us to 2030? That's like 9 years, I guess. How are they going to get us? Look how fast they got us in March to where we are now. Things are going to move, and everyone knows what their agenda is. And it's going to be inside. And that vaccine, that's the Trojan horse. Believe me. That comes with a bunch of shit, and in it comes, and it's done, it's patented, they're out, it's not even a secret. That comes with that ID, and that they show you paper. They're so deceptive. They show you paper with your passport, and that is not going to be a piece of paper. That is going to be a mark on your hand. That is the goal. It's a mark that you take, and that you can't see it, but you can see it in special light. People's phones, places where you go will have that. They'll see your record. It's your record, it's your vaccine, it's your ID. Look up, and I sent you that, I think, a long time ago, right? Didn't I, about that whole ID 2020?
Yes,
that's
you did.
It.
We actually brought it up on one show.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
And so that's it. It's to wrap it up, cryptocurrency. So if you look up a patent that they patented in March, it's a cryptocurrency system. It's right in your body. It's in you. You are the whole one and all. You're the show. Right? Mm-hmm. Yep, that's the whole goal. And that is how they catalog everybody, count everyone. So it's all pretending like, oh my God, there's a flu. Let's have a, pandemic. And oh man, we should have a reset. Like they planned that. That's a thing. It's a whole plan. And the reset, as you know, is it's a takedown and it's a control of everything, right? There'll be resistance. And I don't know what will happen in the end. I'm just saying that is the plan. We all know it.
Okay, let me ask you something here. Moderna, we got it up here. Moderna vaccine confers at least 3 months immunity, says study. So they're giving
Okay.
3 months, and then you're gonna what? You're gonna have to get
God.
vaccinated 4 times a year.
Stop. Here's the thing about vaccines. So, and this is a different type of vaccine, as you know, but let's just say the theory behind vaccine is you insert a virus because your body will learn. It's an attack. That's what goes on inside us all the time. There's viruses come. We have a whole, microcosm going on, subatomic, right? Quantum level even inside us. So viruses come, we learn the code, we beat the code, we get healthy. Now we know the code. So that virus can never come to us again. Our body figured it out. We have antibodies. They linger forever. Take a blood sample. You'll see everything I ever overcame. It's in there, right? Hair trigger response. You cannot get that again. So that's how that works. That's our immune response. So that's true immunity, healthy, natural. First line of defense is our skin and all that. So here they come with their bright idea of, I'm going to inject something in you. They put poisons, which, yes, your body has an immune response. It's like, what the hell? And it reacts, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's an immune response to a toxin. That's not a true natural immune response to a specific attack on, like, say, a virus or a bacteria. Totally different story. So, of course, that's not going to hold. That's not going to hold.
No.
That's an immune response, and it's a theory. So
now, they're saying that you're going to have to, so let's move on to the next one here. And I did the video this morning. You commented on it. It says, Canadians may face travel restrictions for years if Covey, I don't want to say the V word too much, if Covey serum is not available for everyone. Now, here's the problem with this, okay? They word this in a specific language where they could pretty much take anything out of the magician's hat. With the way they worded that, they can make 500 things happen out of that.
You're so right. You're right. That's a marketing. That's a typical marketing line. Yeah, there's differences with marketing and a pitch launches. Yeah, I know marketing campaigns because I've done that for a living. Mm-hmm. I see one, I see them all. I see their whole marketing campaign parts. And yeah, a lot of people that had spoken in the comments of when you posted that before, they're right. Yep, people are on to that. That's just mind fuckery. Oh, sorry. Darn. Yep.
So Covey serum card versus Covey immunity passports. So they're looking at cards that you carry in your wallet and a passport. And there was another country here. What was it? Where was it again? It wasn't Australia. It wasn't the UK. It was Singapore. Singapore now is going to have your digital health information is going to be on an application that you scan at the Singaporean airports when you check in.
Sure. Well, yeah, that's the point. Look up ID 2020. That's patented. That's Microsoft's big idea. That's all of them's big idea put together. There's DARPA, right? Because they're the ones who designed the weapon system. So with the you know what, the V word, comes that nanotechnology, right? Because it's a delivery system. It's literally deployed. Like they say, they're going to deploy that. It's a deployment. It is. It's an attack inside. So what they do is they'll get that messenger RNA that's going to go give a little message to your DNA. It's going to cut a gene, synthetic, right? So it's a synthetic thing that's going to be, it's genetic engineering. Moderna is a genetic engineering firm.
Well, right?
They've never done vaccine. They do, that's their name, Mode RNA.
Yeah, I have a DM. So listen to this. Like any, where's it? Okay, so it tricks the immune system believing it's been infected with a microbe and trains it to build the right kind of antibodies for when it encounters the real virus. So it sounds fine and dandy, like a nice ending to a story, but it doesn't.
That is such a great. You're right. That's a great story. We should sit down and turn the page and big pictures. Nice. Mm-hmm. But what's the reality? That's great. The reality is it's genetic engineering. That's the reality. We're doing genetic engineering. We have a long code of DNA. It's like, I don't know, 1 billion miles. What is it? If you stretch it out, it's huge. It's our individual code. They're going to take a little splice out, put a synthetic piece in.
Well, before you go any forward with that, God won't allow it, period.
Well, they do it. Like GMOs exist. Like they do that.
Oh, I understand that, but I don't think they'll let it. The transhumanism, like to a certain degree, is I guess will happen. But I'm thinking like even in more like when you want to go more in depth and start re-engineering us, I don't think it would be. I just think there's going to be some sort of intervention somewhere somehow.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's not going to win in the end, but still, this is their theory, and they are doing this. It is Frankenstein, but it is happening, and there's a lot of. It is, and it exists, and that's why. That's what's up. It's very scientific. It's very quantum physics. It's quantum mechanics. It's at the quantum level, but it's there. It's at the quantum level, though. That's the thing. And so, if you've never, like, I've always been a big science. I did not know that this would be how it ends up, honestly. But all the moving parts, like all those different aspects I've known, but wow, to see how it comes together is absolutely diabolical genius. Just is. But you're right there. It can't win in the end because it can't win. All GMOs are not as strong. Like in real nature, if you're going to be here, that synthetic stuff isn't going to work. And at the end, we all know what happens in 2030. That's the mask gone. But in the meantime, what's good is a dead guinea pig. So in the meantime, we are guinea pigs. They have never done this type of thing. All vaccines, actually. I only realized, how you know a lot of things, but 2020 is an eye-opener. I really realized that all vaccines actually always had that component of just testing. Yeah, and working other side experiments. And this is the grand one. And they're just testing. That's why they want us to get more and more and more. Because they want to see, ooh, this worked. How about that? Because they're trying things on purpose. They know what their end game is, and it is genetic engineering. And they're not just going to go after that little RNA that, makes like a cold virus go away. They have other plans, right?
But I don't know if...
Just think about that realistically. There's other plans in mind. That's how we're all going to be happy. Wow, we own nothing. We're happy. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Wonder where that's going to come from. Mm-hmm. That's coming with that because they can affect all those things, and they will. They have learned how to get cross the blood-brain barrier. They do it. That's why there's all that autism, all that. That's all. I used to think, wow, what an accident. What a shame. MMR vaccine causes autism. Wow. That
got banned from Japan.
Yeah.
They got banned from Japan, and they got banned, I think, Portugal and Iceland, and there's like 8 countries that banned that vaccine.
Yeah. It's a fact it does that. But here's the thing that I realize now. That's on purpose. They've always been trying to get into our blood-brain barrier. I get that now because that is the goal. They're getting in there. They want to in.
They're not going to get far. I tell you straight up, it's not going to get far.
This is why we're going to need to rise up. This is their plan. It's good to know the plan, but we're going to rise up. I know one thing. I'm resisting to the end. I'll never take that. And that is the point. That whole digital ID, look at it. Look what is patented and in store. It's a thing where it's microneedles. So your vaccine will actually come in a little Band-Aid type form. And then you just put it on, you won't even feel it. In microneedles, it's the hydrogels. That's what DARPA has planned, right? Hydrogel, so it goes in. And then, those little guys, it is really, actually, they are, so they're synthetic. Like we have bio, antibodies, but these are robotic ones. Yeah, and they can, like you said, mix in with the 5G and, oh my God, that's why they need to get more and more. Like they know what they're doing, but it's also an experiment. So in the meantime, they're going to learn all they can on people. And then slowly, that's it. We will be the cryptocurrency. Look up the patent number. Just look it up. It's a fact. We're going to be cryptocurrency. We're going to be, that whole reward program that China has going on.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's not really a reward. It's the reward program. It's the social credit score. So if you turn in some bad neighbors, they get a bad score. Their score level goes down. You go up for being a good citizen.
Yep.
And you can't get on trains if you're bad. If you watch Mike in the Night, you're not allowed on an airplane.
That's right. We'll just rent our own airplane. Screw that. Who can drive
and that's what I'm talking about. Black markets, black market petrol,
absolutely.
Black market everything.
Oh yeah. We don't have to be like, oh man, too bad you know what? That's a good plan until there's a lot of people who, silent majority. Mm-hmm. And you don't have to be the majority anyway. We don't need to be the majority anyway. Mm-hmm.
I did a video 4 or 5 years ago about the I remember this video very specifically because a big YouTube channel actually commented on it. But 4 or 5 years ago, I was making a video discussing the DNA junk and discussing the DNA, our DNA, and all that stuff. And I went into discussing the uncharted territory of our DNA that we don't know much about, or we don't know nothing. And I believe wholeheartedly from day one, the uncharted part of our DNA is our story, is who we are, where we came from.
Wow.
I think that's just what I
That's
think.
so cool. I never even thought of it that way. I think you're right. Why is
That
it so
part
long?
of the
'Cause it says
DNA that we
everything
can't
up-
decipher.
I know it has memories
Yes.
and things from your ancestors. I never thought of it. You know what? You're right.
I honestly
bet
think
you're
that's a story of us.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Because it's crazy in there, what's all in there.
We don't know, and we're nowhere near. You know what this is like? I want people to kind of imagine this. Remember when the Wright brothers took their flight on that plane, on that paper, and then they flew at like 200 feet?
Mm-hmm.
This is where we are with our DNA.
Mm-hmm.
Like the first flight. That's where we are with our DNA. We are decades, if not centuries, away from decoding our
Honestly,
DNA.
that is brilliant. You are correct. And that's what they're screwing with in mini form. But you're right about that. That is actually profound. And also that's profound.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
just-
Thanks for that.
Wanted to throw that out there.
Our whole story. What a cool idea. And I bet you are correct. Because I know all the other things it has, and I do know something else. And here's why it is a very bad thing. And here's why it truly always comes down to the fact that it's a battle for our soul. And that is because if they really do achieve, and it is possible, they'll say, oh no, the mRNA just gives a message. It can't really change. It's not going to be stable enough. It'll get flushed out. But you know what? The facts are it does have a low chance. Low chance means a chance. And they are actually experimenting with it. They'll vax again and again until they do succeed. And the thing is that once you cannot patent a natural organism, which we are, according to the law, right? You can't patent that. But if you do alter, you can technically patent and own part or whole of that organism. So that is a big concern. It is, because you're legally handing over, in a way, ownership, right? And aren't we free moral beings here?
We are.
We are. So
and we're given God-given rights at birth.
Yes, you can give it away by doing that. Just realize that, when you think of what that really means. And that is a thing to consider, I would say. Mm-hmm. Very big thing to consider. And also that technology in you're loaded into the cloud. They're going to know what you're thinking, and they're going to put ideas in your head, and you won't even know. The virtual reality will be in you. You won't even know, hey, is this my idea or an implanted idea? Mm-hmm. This is science they've always worked on. Mm-hmm. This is mind control is obviously a thing of all governments throughout history. And now they just happen to have it on a higher end, right? But you know what I'm saying? All throughout history, how do you control people?
The media.
No, all throughout history. I mean history. I mean,
okay.
Aztecs, history, Romans, everyone trying to control people, groups of people, huge. How? So
fear.
That's always been a thing. And now it's just that it's really down to this, right?
Right. It's instilling fear, basically. It's been instilling fear, and the only way they could get one over you. I don't know if you remember my Mike in the Night from 2 months ago, where I was talking about if you're in fear of dying, then the governments the governments have one over you.
Yeah, the reason you're in fear of dying is because we're not actually taught anything about the truth about who we are and where we are. That's why.
That's why.
They tell us all this junk about what's up. And then we're all like, oh, wow. And then you wonder why. And it's an assault to who we are. So,
exactly.
Right?
Exactly. Mm-hmm. All right, Lenny, I'm going to let you go.
Thank you.
Is the Raven kicking around?
I think he said he was I don't know. He would know. He would call in. If you want him to call in, just say so. If he can, he will. You know that. So.
Yeah, I'll let him call in, or I'll call. I don't care. Last time he picked up when I called, so it looks like his Skype is working right.
Well, you decide. Yeah.
Okay, I'll call him in a few.
Okay. Take care.
Thanks so much for coming on.
All right.
God bless you.
God bless.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, that's Linny Poo over in the comment section. You'll see her there. The Ravens girl, friend, wife, fiance on the show. And who else could we get here? Okay. Okay, what time is it now? Okay, perfect. Okay, I got someone I'm going to bring on the show. I'm going to call him right now. And, okay, good. He just messaged me. I'm going to give him a call right now.
Mr. Martins.
Kevin, how are you? Let me put you on big screen
brother,
here.
I can't hear. Hold on. Can you hear me?
I could hear you perfectly.
I'm losing. I can't hear you.
Because you were using Zoom.
By all means.
So I'm going to keep talking
All right,
here.
check. Testing.
Can you hear me?
I can't hear you yet.
Yeah, you can't hear me because you were using Zoom before you called
You can hear me. It looks
Yeah,
like
I can
you
hear you.
me
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
All right, you can hear me. I see you saying yes.
Yes.
Yeah. This is why I hate Skype. This happens to me every single time. All right, let me see if there's a setting I can change.
Yeah, Skype changed the So let me set him up here. This is
Sorry, guys. I'll get this figured out in a second here.
I'm just going to fix my text here.
All right, testing.
Let me just get this here. This guy from
So again, check.
Let's see if you can hear me. Yeah, the thing is when you
Check. Try it now.
You okay? Can you hear me?
I cannot hear you. I see you moving. You look crystal clear. I see the perfect hairpiece you got on. It's wonderful, but I just can't. I'm not hearing anything that you're saying.
Okay,
Dang it. Hold on.
I'll call you. Call me back.
No, got it. I got it. We're in. I hear you perfectly.
Okay, perfect. Guys, I'm going to introduce this. Let's get a round of applause here. Hold on. We got a round of applause. This is Kevin J. Johnston. He ran for mayoral candidate. He was a mayoral candidate for the city of Mississauga in the province of Ontario. That's about 25 miles from Toronto. And he is now, give us this announcement. You are going to run for mayor of what?
Calgary. The mayor of Calgary. Calgary is that's right, sir. Then I am Calgary mayor-elect Kevin J. Johnston, and I use that term Calgary mayor-elect because it drives the left nuts. Antifa has already started threatening me online, and that's great advertising. So thank you, Antifa.
Woo! Okay, we know that Alberta is the Lone Star state of Canada. It is like the Texas of Canada. It is one of the provinces that wants secession from the idea of Canada. It is basically, I guess, a go-to state or a go-to province when people get fed up in their provinces with all the bureaucracy and bad leadership.
Yeah, well, we have no leadership anywhere in Canada right now at all. Every single leader that we have is a beta cuck. Let's tell the truth here. There's not a single masculine male anywhere. We don't have any men left. And what we have done is the women that we've put in power in this country, we've selected the most far left and disgustingly creepy individuals that we can get our hands on. So we do not have qualified men, nor do we have qualified women anywhere in office right now. And we are paying the price for it, Canada.
Hold on. Everyone's clapping. Hold on. Thanks. I don't think Winston Churchill or John F. Kennedy could have not said that any better than Kevin just said it right now. So, okay. So how is this going to work? You're in the province of Ontario. You're 3 time zones or 2 time zones away. Are you going to go over? Are you going to go over there and campaign? Explain to us how this, because we want to get you back on over time and kind of follow this with you. I do have quite a few people here following us tonight from Alberta, so that's kind of nice. So explain to us how are you going to do this logistically?
I'm in Calgary right now.
Oh,
I signed a 3-year lease on a house. I've got internet being installed this week. My driver's license was changed to Alberta 3 months ago.
Oh God,
I'm officially an Alberta resident. I bounce back and forth between Calgary and Toronto just because I've got so many personal effects in Toronto just to sell off, get rid of, or donate just to not have to deal with them.
I did not know that.
Go ahead.
I thought you were still in the Mississauga, Ontario region and preparing to make that. So you made the move already during, I guess, when the Covey restrictions were on a low down and people could travel a bit more. You made the right choice. You got out, you set up. Now you got base there in Alberta. You set up a base. You're ready to go. Now, so explain to us, when is it up for grabs? What's going on?
The official election date is going to be the third week of October of 2021. But believe me when I say this, I ran for the mayorship of Mississauga twice now.
Right.
The first time was 2014. I placed 11th. The last time was 2018. I placed second. I had a budget of $8,500 and I placed second. What does that tell you about my capacity for marketing? Now, what I'll say to you is, in Mississauga, I ran my campaign both unofficially and officially for a total of 10 months. Those 10 months disappeared like they were a week. Right. It goes fast. Believe me, with all the meetings you have, all the people you have to talk to, the video editing, the graphic design, the public appearances. We had to put a vaudeville act on all over the city because we couldn't get debate time with anyone. And so with all that work that we did, it was 14 to 16 hours a day. 10 months is not enough. I wish I started 3 years ago. That's the truth. That's how long it takes to run a campaign like this against the incumbent.
Right. So 2021 November, that's not that long
October.
away.
It's not that 10 months. October.
That 10 months is a lot of work. I mean, you got to really roll that out there. You got to go shake hands. And is Alberta in this massive lockdown, or what's going on in Alberta?
Yeah, it's a little bit more stringent than Ontario is right now. Toronto, Mississauga, Vaughan, North York, Windsor, and a few other places are all locked down. And it's such a pathetic lockdown. The wording of it's so incredibly weak that anybody could and should open their stores up right now. Here, the lockdown is the same as Ontario with more restrictions on top of that. The most ridiculous one is that you cannot even be in a car with people that you don't live with right now. It's apparently a $1,000 fine if that is something that you do.
So you're telling me you're driving down the road and it's a nice day out and there's a hitchhiker and she looks decent and he's like, hey, maybe I get to give her a ride somewhere. You can't do that?
No, not in Alberta.
What if there's somebody stranded on the side of the road and their car broke down and you have to get him gas?
Well, I mean, this is Jason Kenney's government that we're talking about. The man is gutless. So, of course, he caved into everything Naheed Nenshi wanted, and he caved into whatever Communist China wanted. So the answer is no. No, of course, I would pick them up anyway. That's the kind of guy that I am. And naturally, I'm going to sit in a vehicle with whomever I wish, whenever I wish, especially if I'm paying for the vehicle or paying for the fuel and the insurance on it.
Sure.
But what I did do last night, just to make a point, I went live on both Instagram and Facebook. There was a parked bylaw car with two bylaw officers in there. One guy, about 55 to 58, black. The other guy, white, around roughly the same age. Both of them were out of shape dudes who really didn't take life seriously or their health seriously. And I was knocking on the glass asking them, do you guys live together? Are you a married couple? Are you a couple in general? You don't have the right to be in the same car with each other. Please give each other a $1,000 ticket. And I did this for about 10 minutes before they got fed up with me, put on their cherries, and took off.
Right.
And I did that to prove the point that bylaw officers, when you go on the offensive, they don't know what to do. They're cowards. They'll take off. They won't answer your questions. They'll turn your back or their back on you and then split as quickly as they can. They're not my favorite people in the world, let me tell you.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. There's a lot of, entitlement clip-on ties. I call them entitlement clip-on ties. They got this entitlement level, and their clip-on tie is there to prove it, and their clip-on whatever they put on their uniform to make them look like high and mighty. I know what you mean, Kevin. So, okay, so this is very interesting. So I totally see you actually taking this. I don't see you having any troubles. Now, hold on. Now, I need you to bear with me for 1 second here.
Of course. You take your time. It's your show.
Okay. We've talked about this on the channel many times. You're going to get the next John F. Kennedy. You get the next Ross Perot. You get the next person that's going to go in there and really try to make a difference. What's going to stop the media from trashing you and all the other people trashing you and all the Mickey Mousing, all the lies and all that, and basically force you to step down? I mean, that's the society we live in today. Even though you're elected and you're put into power and you are ready to take on the job and you're ready to clean the streets, so to say, and then you get pushed out. They constantly pressure you. They threaten you. They threaten your family, threaten everything. I mean, that's the situation. That's anybody that's good or anyone that's going to make a difference. I just see them having a really tough time.
Well, they've been giving me a tough time for the last 4 years. I mean, I am a rare cat. I'm the first one to admit that I absolutely thrive in chaos. So when my enemies decide that they want to bring slander and libel my way and put my face on the front page saying Islamophobe or LGBTQophobe or, I don't know, slutophobe or whatever words they want to use, they've used a whole bunch of really crazy words in the past to describe me. And they have stuck me on the front page of the Huffington Post, Toronto Star, National Post, Windsor Sun, like all kinds of papers, all in criticism of me. There's not been one nice thing said about me ever in any mainstream media outlet, newspaper, television show, news broadcast, or radio station. Not one. For 4 years, they've been doing this. How do I feel about that? I feel great about that because at least they were talking about me and my YouTube channel ramped all the way up. They changed their strategy when I ran for office in 2018. They were told by Mississauga Mayor Bonnie Crombie not to cover me in any way. And of course, they complied, except, of course, to talk about the fact that I had a hate crime charge against me, which was put there by Mississauga Mayor Bonnie Crombie because she thought that I would take a deal, be intimidated by the court process, and not be able to run for mayor. Well, I ran for mayor and placed second. She was so afraid of going toe-to-toe with me that she made it clear that she couldn't be in the same room with a man who is as aggressive as me. So whenever there was a debate, she would debate the 18-year-old girl who was also running for mayor and the 83-year-old man who was running for mayor because he was bored. And that was how the debates worked. So shame on University of Toronto for letting that happen. Shame on Bonnie Crombie, of course, for being that pathetic. And shame on the media for not giving me equal media time as her. The media is completely and totally left. I don't care about the mainstream media at all. Mm-hmm. We're going to be utilizing these things right here. Everyone's got a cell phone. Every single time I speak, I tell everyone, record what I say, put it on every single platform, take my 1,400 videos from BitChute and put them on your platform, duplicate everything I do, everything I say, and spit it out there. And if you make money on my work, I couldn't care less. I want the message out there. And that is resonating very well with everybody across this country, because even though the Canadian government has hit me with more than $10 million of lawsuits that they allowed I lost them by default, not even trial dates. Even though Bonnie Crombie hired Antifa to attack me, even though Bonnie Crombie hired Antifa to destroy 2 of my vehicles and steal a laptop and a camera, even though the Canadian government put me in a maximum security prison for 6 weeks just for criticizing the Liberal government, I'm still here. They can't stop me, period. To answer your question, I couldn't care less about the media so long as they're saying something about me.
Good. And that is the response we like to hear, and that's what we want to hear, is that, you know, there is so much happening out there. It's so fast. The media is basically the last instrument, in my opinion. Kevin, is the last instrument, in my opinion, that the governments have to try and retain order, because they're losing that. Now, Kevin, hold on. I'm going to throw something else out there. Did you know that in a couple of backroom discussions, that the Canadian and the federal government at a federal level is looking to implement broadcasting? You need to get broadcasting license to broadcast anywhere from Canada going forward if you want to go live on YouTube, or if you want to have a broadcasting syndicated show like I got, or something like that. They're trying to actually work a way around the algorithm, so to say, so that we can't even have a voice anymore, because they're losing. The mainstream media is losing to us very badly. Yes.
Well, they're going to try that, and they'll implement fines and so on. But let me tell you this: because of all those lawsuits the government and their plebes put against me, I'm $10.5 million in the hole. So it doesn't matter what fines you issue to me. I'm completely unsuable. I'm judgment-proof. I'm fine-proof. So I'm going to continue my attack and my assault on them using all forms of alternative media that I possibly can. I would ask each and every one of you to consider opening up American corporations. Do it in the state of Wisconsin, where there's no annual fee for your American corporation, and just run everything through that corporation. That way, what you do is you become an agent of a company, an international company in a different country. There's your loophole. There's always a way around this in every way imaginable. As for journalism right now, everyone, there is no such thing as a journalism license in this country. If you say you're a journalist, you're a journalist.
Right.
And I ask all of you to say that from here on in. Keep your phone with you.
Right.
At all times. Whenever something comes up that you want to film, or security guards giving you a difficult time for not wearing a mask on your face and so on, immediately break out the phone, begin filming. Now you're a journalist, and you tell everyone under Section 423 of the Criminal Code, you are intimidating me as a journalist. It's a 5-year penalty. Back off. We need to ignore these crazy laws that they're going to put upon us. We need to fight them, play every loophole game you possibly can, but do not surrender. After all they've done to me, my audience now is bigger than it's ever been, and I love you for it, Canada. Thank you.
Now, Kevin, you're going to have to, I think I'm subscribed to your channel. I constantly get unsubscribed. Every 6 months, YouTube goes through this algorithmic thing and unsubscribes me for like 50 channels every time. So I need you to send me your YouTube channel one more. I think I am subscribed to it. I think I am. But I want to plug it here on our live chat to make sure that we could, I'm going to just remove you off the main screen here. Go ahead and send me your chat right now. So I got a lot of people in the comments. There you go. Kevin is typing. He's going to be sending me his link to his YouTube and his BitChute. You could go ahead and
okay.
What's this first one? Kevin
J. Johnston X. Now, here's the problem with that, everybody. If you're going to follow me on YouTube, that's okay, folks. Come on in. If you're going to follow me on YouTube, keep in mind they're probably going to shut it down. YouTube has killed my channel 12 times in the past. 12. I don't care about YouTube anymore. I utilize YouTube just to push a couple of links over to my BitChute channel, which is my name, KevinJJohnston.com. All 1,400 of my videos are there for the last 4 years, and I've been updating BitChute daily now. Whereas with YouTube, I update it once in a while, mainly because I know that if I talk about COVID-19, they'll shut the channel down. That's literally what they do. So forget YouTube. I hate it. It sucks. I'm on Parler, not Twitter. Parler.com/KevinJJohnston, Gab.com/KevinJJohnston, IDW.community/KevinJJohnston. Yeah, I'm everywhere.
That's good.
I'm on all the social media platforms.
That's good. That's
Except
good.
me,
but you're on YouTube right now, so that's kind of good for you. You're still getting on YouTube.
As I said, though, I don't care. I don't really play with my YouTube channel anymore. I'm not dedicating any more time and effort to YouTube because they've killed 12 of my channels. They've cost me a lot of time, headache, money, heartache, and so on. I'm not going to give them any more opportunities to do so. So I will upload about every third video that I shoot. I'll upload to YouTube because most of my videos have the word COVID-19 or scamdemic or plandemic or fake news or something in there. And when their algorithms detect that, they pull that video down, and they've already given me 2 content strikes just for talking about COVID-19. Forget them. Go to the alternative stuff. BitChute's better, everybody. Kevin J. Johnston.
Well, everybody's moving over to BitChute. I was on BitChute last night. I have a channel. I mean, I haven't really did nothing to the channel in a while, and I've been seeing a lot of movement on BitChute. And you got and have you been on Parler? You got to get on Parler.
I'm on Parler. I am on Parler.
Okay, because I keep pumping Parler every week here because Facebook doesn't. Facebook is really bizarre. I have 115,000 Facebook followers, and when I put up a post, only 3 people see it.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, get on a Parler, everybody. I'm there. I've got only about 220 followers, but I joined up about a month and a half ago. Head over to Parler because I've abandoned Twitter. I don't do Twitter anymore either. I've given up on Twitter and I've given up on YouTube. I surrender, and I've gone over to the winning team now, which is Parler, Gab, and Rumble, Brighteon, MeWe, Minds.com. I'm on all of the good ones.
Okay, I'm looking for you here on Parler.
It's just my name, Kevin J. Johnston.
It's not coming up.
Oh, it's got to be there.
Dude, it's not coming up.
No, don't say that. No. I just found it. I'm going to put the link in the chat room right now. There you go, everybody. I'm on Parler. Kaboom. And I gave you the link there in Skype.
Okay,
Bang.
okay. Hold on. There it is. Okay. I'm going to open that right now in the chat. Yeah, we need you. We want to follow your progress here on the show. So here we go. Following. There you go. The next mayor of Calgary. Guys, I'm gonna put his link inside the live chat. Oh, we have almost 200 people watching live. That's really good. And
Fabulous.
there it is right there. And we're gonna get. All right. Anything else? Is there anything you need to tell us? Anything of importance?
Oh, God, yeah, there's just so much of importance. Listen, Calgary, you've been screwed by your mayor. This guy he's a maniac. This is a guy who's my age. I'm 49. This guy is 49. He lives with his mommy and daddy. He is an alcoholic.
Whoa.
And that's Naheed Nenshi, the current mayor. He hates all Canadian culture. He's sicking police officers on hockey players that skate on lakes in the city.
I saw that right now.
Yep, he's taken away your right to wear the white 10-gallon hat or the 5-gallon hat. Anything to do with Canadian culture, he hates and he is destroying. Here's what's going to happen with me. The first day that I'm in office, every single COVID-19 restriction that's in place right now is gone. The mask mandate, history. If you want to wear one because you're afraid of this pandemic, plandemic, scamdemic, go ahead. You don't want to wear it, take it off. It's done. If you've been issued a fine inside the city of Calgary, it's going to be reversed. The fines are going to be dropped. And if you've already paid the fine, it's going to be dropped and refunded. You're going to get all that. Last thing here, whichever bylaw officer hands out the most COVID-19 fines between now and the day I take office is fired. He's done. If he decides he wants to use the unions to stay in place, no problem. I'll be attacking him on a personal level with a lawsuit that I'm going to get the people of Calgary to join me in. I'll bankrupt them. I do not like evil. I do not like seeing these guys walking around bullying people, stealing money from them in the name of nothing.
Right.
In the name of Naheed Nenshi's weak ego. Mm-hmm. Weak men do this. Strong leaders, real men, do not issue threats to people and do not demand compliance. Real leaders go out and show people how to live properly and how to be a better person, how to have pride in yourself, in your leader, in your city, and in your country. A real leader brings out the best in everybody, not the worst in everybody. Calgary, you're going to go back to being the best city in the country when I am mayor.
Wow. Wow, that's amazing. Those are some powerful words, and from a powerful man with a strong backbone, definitely a really strong backbone, and it's the people for the people. And all the mainstream media could say what he wants about Kevin J. Johnston because he'll deflect it just like anything else. And that's really good.
The last time I lost a debate, I was 26. These left-wing nuts that try to debate me with feelings, they lose every single time. There's a reason why nobody on the left will ever debate me. They all turn down every challenge. And listen, the media itself, all they do is they ask left-wing leading questions like, don't you think that? And the easy answer is no. Next question. Just shoot them down in flames with the very simple answers. Mm-hmm. But when they do decide they want to ask something complicated, I'm not going to shy away from a single answer, period. I have mastered my craft of public speaking over the last 25 years. I made sure that my vocabulary is over 100,000 words, and I've lived in over 40 cities. I have had a lot of exposure to a lot of different people and different life experiences, and I plan to bring all that forward for the benefit of everybody within the city of Calgary, because I love this town. I truly do love it here, and Calgarians need to benefit from someone that actually cares about them and actually likes people, which I do. I'm very much a people person. I can't do what I do for a living and not like people.
Right. That's definitely. I'm gonna have to. I don't know. I'm in the spring or summer. I'm gonna be probably doing a cross road trip across Canada again. I might stop in Calgary to see you, and say hi and see how you.
Well,
do.
hey, listen, I'd love to. I'll put you up for the night. We'll get some steak into you. We'll have ourselves a good time.
Yeah, some whiskey.
By the way, there was a question in the room there. Where did I go to high school? In the city of Mississauga, I went to St. Martin High School on Rosemary Drive. Mm-hmm. That was back in the day when it was still, I think, a building that fit 400 people, along with, 60 portables outside. So if you're from the 80s and you went to St. Martin's, you probably bumped into me and you saw my stupid mullet. I had a horrible hairdo back then.
Do you have any photos?
Oh, I'll find them for you.
Yeah.
I found my old student cards a little while ago.
Really? When you moved, right?
I'll put those out.
Yeah,
I'll put those out for y'all.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, I wanted to touch base with you. I wanted to make sure, I wanted to introduce you to the channel here. I wanted people to know we got somebody with a bit of fire and some dragon's blood flowing through them that's gonna really try their best to put things back or make Calgary great again.
Mike, thank you for this opportunity. It's great to finally meet you in person. Thank you so much.
We talked before. I think we spoke on a live stream way back ago.
Yeah, but we probably did, and I think it was rushed. This particular time, I got a chance to see you. First off, what people don't realize is I've got Mike from 2 different camera angles here. You get to see him full frontal on YouTube, but I get to see him 3/4 view here. So I get that awesome hairdo that he's got. It's hooked right up like this. Yeah, you got to hit him with both sides. All right, Mike, listen, great chatting with you, man. Yeah. I got another live show to do now, so I got to split. I love you all, people.
Thank you. Thank you, Kevin. God bless you.
Yes, God bless you. Take care, guys.
Thank you. All right, guys. That was Kevin J. Johnston, running for mayor of Calgary 2021 October. So he came on. He's got another live stream he needs to go on. I'm going to give you guys his parlor here. Let me refresh this parlor. Okay, copy. There's his parlor here. There it is. Check it out. Follow him. Be part of the he's on BitChute too. Just type in Kevin J. Johnston and yeah, I'm going to plug him. I'm going to start plugging him probably. Yeah, I'm following him. Let me see what I could do here. Hold on. Followed, and I'm going to notifications. And I don't need to message him. But going forward, I need we'll just be following his campaign. And if he becomes mayor of Mississauga, that's really nice. It's going to be really nice to know somebody in that level of power, especially if it's someone that's doing something right. Right. Mike Martin's Get Hit in Stacks. He's in Sydney. Hold on, everybody. Relax. We're going to get... Hold on. Let me get... guys, YouTube channel, don't forget to subscribe. Guys, don't forget to buy something on Teespring. I want to thank everyone that bought something for Christmas and they thought of my channel. Guys, don't forget to follow me on Facebook. If you guys want to follow me here on Facebook, I'll give you my Facebook link. You're more than welcome. Okay. Guys, don't forget to check me out on Instagram. I'm on Instagram. If you guys want to follow me there, go ahead and message me on there too. Parlor, get on Parlor. There's Kevin J. Johnston there. Come on Parlor. And Parlor is amazing. It's just RalphieCo.New Zealand. Check him out. He basically created the music and has been on the show many times. And guys, don't forget to check out art by Dano. Not your typical art. Get something for somebody. Something special. Birthday, whatever. Check it out. Use promo word Mike in the Night. And he'll see, depending on how far you are, he'll give you a deal on shipping or something. So check that out. Art by Dano. Okay, guys. All right, guys. So we got Pavlali saying Mike is not right tonight. Says Pavlali. Then we got Matthew saying Melbourne is only masks at supermarkets, but I fear fake cases this week. Christmas gets canceled. We got Layla saying yes, V-Man isn't he expanding into supermarkets now? Okay, so everybody is in the comments section, rocking and rolling. Thank you, everybody, for being here tonight on Mike in the Night. Okay, we are done. We're going into we're done our second hour. So it takes time. It takes a lot of mind power and focus to keep it going nice and smooth. All right, so we added Kevin J. Johnston on our caller on our Rolodex here, so we could follow his so we could follow his campaign. I'm looking forward to following it and seeing how he does. All right, let's get in the Raven. Where is the Raven? And we need to get the Raven on because he has some very valuable information that he needs to add tonight on what is happening. Let me see if I could. There he is right there. Let me just start calling. Hopefully he picks up. Oh, it's ringing. up. We need you. Okay, he's not picking up. I hope he's okay. I hope he's not indisposed. How is that how they say that? Indisposed or indisposal or indisposed? So we got Layla in the comments, Lenny Poo in the comments, Ben Savage in the comments, Lord Humongous in the comment section. And we got a lot of our usual suspects in the comments. That's really good. That's really good. All right. He's not picking up. I hope he's okay. Okay, Hitting Stacks. Hitting Stacks, he's in my favorites here. Let me find him here. Hitting Stacks, where are you? He's in my favorites. There he is. He needs to come on. He has some very important information he needs to share with us in Australia. He is not picking up the phone. He is not. No one's picking up their phones tonight. All right, I did call him. I called him. He did not pick up the phone. So it could be washroom break. It could be anything. It could be, who knows what it could be, man. Let's see if Sean picks up.
Howdy.
Yo, Sean, what's up, buddy? I've been trying to reach you. A lot tougher to get than the president.
Yeah, well, my secretary chose Zerb over me, so...
Okay. So, anyways, I'm just going to let's go to scan here. We got Sean in the house, Sean L., who is on, you are on thing, too. You're also on, I saw you on Parler.
Yeah, for now. I think, like, a lot of the media, a lot of these alternative platforms that pop up, I think, like, they are ultimately honey traps, but that's why you got to put your eggs in different baskets, so you have options you're more flexible that way.
Mm-hmm.
So I figure Parlay is going to be good for a while. But if I were an intelligence agency, I'd set up something for the conservatives too, right? I can't just have an echo chamber for the commies. Got to have another option for the false left-right paradigm.
All right, sit back. Oh, we got you there. There you go.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
there you go.
Can't see myself, but
that's okay. You look fine. I could tell you look fine. You don't need to see yourself. I could tell you if you look bad. All right.
Okay. Yeah. Let me know. I trust you, man.
Let me ask you something. This 3 months, every 3 months, need to be re-injected? What the heck is that?
Well, yeah, I mean, I've said it before where, like, they'd inject us every day if they could get away with it. And, there's the people with the nefarious objectives, which are at the tippy top, shall we say. And then there's the people that purely profit motive, money driven. They like it because it's a guaranteed reoccurring payment to them. Mm-hmm. Right? And it, like, continuous, infinite, money coming in. And they don't even care. I think the people at the very top don't even care they don't care if the economy crashes. I mean, they'll ride it out. But back in 1971, I think, the Rockefellers and such, saw the writing on the wall and basically decided at that point, well, maybe let's take over all the resources directly, right? So let's buy up the drinking water. Let's buy up all the supermarket, or not the supermarkets per se, but the meat packing plants and such, right? Everything you need, agriculture. I remember when America started out, America used to be at least 95, even 90, to 98% farmers, and then the corporate model took over.
They had tens of thousands of slaughterhouses across America, and then now they're down to 4 major ones, and that's it.
Well, I'm talking about before even that. Like, people were more self-sufficient. They grew their own food. They had their own farms and cattle and such. And the corporate beast just took all that over to where, now you have 1% of people in the country actually like doing family farms, whereas like all the rest is factory farming, which is like the culprit for all this toxic waste and crap in the atmosphere. Like these are the same groups of people saying, and the investors in these companies are the same people saying that, oh, your carbon footprint and eating meat is unsustainable. All these noble lies, as they call them. But if you had a lot of people that were family farms where you can just show up and buy eggs, buy your meat, buy your cheese, or whatever they farm, we wouldn't have a lot of these, emissions, cow fart issues.
But remember this,
Yeah.
Sean, I discussed this with you, I think it was a few months back, where at the end of in the 1870s, 1860s, 1870s, they were trying to push methane, global warming, or not global warming, the carbon tax on farmers because of their cow poop. They tried doing that 120 years ago.
Well, I think that was just there's the Malthusian belief system that is just kind of modernized itself to this day. They keep trying these different methods of getting people on board. It's like eugenics in the 1950s. That's where it's not just the Germans that had the eugenic ideologies kind of floating around. It was also the U.S. Like where did Superman come from, right?
Mhm.
Superman is like a Ubermensch, like a superhuman being. So they even toyed with people's minds back then. Like every of all these generations since even probably around even the 30s, all these generations were manufactured right down to the fashion, right? Like you ever get this feeling? It's like, oh, it seems like this color is in this season. Right? It's always been the elite kind of mind control thing going on. That's only one aspect of how they manipulate culture. And now they've basically moved, these intelligence agencies have moved from MK Ultra or doing, dealings with cults like, Jonestown or, Helter Skelter with, what's his face? Manson. These are all the CIA was monitoring and even helping these cults out. They even, it's like the Grateful Dead. Even the Grateful Dead, or colleges, the 3-letter agencies again would be dishing out LSD and all these drugs to the youth in concerts and colleges and and then the 60s. I'm kind of going all over the place, but the wars were meant to kill off family men in World War I and II, and they're kind of disappointed, these eugenicists, on how not enough people were dying, and so they have the Cold War and have a lot of shady dealings there. And then you have the 60s where you have hallucinogenics, you have CIA informants or like Aleister Crowley or Alan Watts.
That's the wickedest man that ever lived.
He's among them. Yeah, he's the wickedest man publicly, probably, of. But the most pure evil people, I think, the most possessed, shall I say, people in the world, I think we don't know who they are. They're the ones behind the scenes, behind that Wizard of Oz curtain. It's not enough to do away with people like Bill Gates or George Soros or politicians for that matter, because their very job is to have tomatoes thrown at them, to be kind of like the meat shield for the people that are really in charge, the people handing them. We're talking about trillionaires here. Like that, we don't know who they are.
No, we will never know. And a majority of them won't fit. A majority of the people that control this earth won't. They would fit and be comfortable in that room you're in. The people that control this world could fit in that room you're in.
Yeah, at the very top, and it's all need to know. It's compartmentalization. How do you control a bunch of masses? Well, like you have the concept of science, where science is it's morally neutral. So you might think that you're working on a nuclear power plant to heat up the world and give sustainable energy, blah blah blah, but you might in fact actually be working on a nuclear bomb, right? But you need to know. You're
Decompartmentalization, however you say that.
Decompartmentalization, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You could be building a nuclear bomb, but you don't know it because you're only building like some electronic board, and then the other person's doing the wiring, the other person's doing something, the other person's in the lab, the other person's nobody knows what's really going on, and that's I think that's what's been happening through I don't know the last 200 years.
Oh, for sure. And it's, you look at the gain of function laboratories, right? The people working on these gain of function experiments were told that they were, doing good in the world, and what they were doing is to help people, right? But they don't. If you know too much, then you get exterminated, like that whole, or if you're in the way, even. I know I said this before, but people that maybe didn't hear that episode where flight MH17 had 80 of the top 100 virologists on it. In 2014, this flight flew from Amsterdam and was supposed to go to West Africa to investigate the Ebola epidemic at the time. Unfortunately, it didn't make it there because it was shot down in Ukraine, supposedly. This is what they say.
I remember that we covered that on the channel. That was very important because of the people on board and the significant area where it was shot down through that zone of conflict.
Yeah. And I also wanted to say, yes, individually we may feel powerless, even alone, and that's the deception of the cult, is to make people feel like they're alone and isolated, and to a degree we are, but in our thoughts, I don't think I think a lot more of us are alike than we're all revealing. And I think maybe if you have one speed bump, yeah, you're slowing the vehicle down a little bit. But if you just have a massive critical mass of speed bumps, you're gonna finally stop that vehicle from motion.
Right. Roadblocks, everything.
Yeah.
It's roadblocks, speed bumps, it's hurdles, it's pylons, it's everything they're throwing in front.
But I just also wanted to warn people about things like what Alan Watt, not Watts, but Alan Watt. He's been researching this stuff. He's been telling us about this stuff since the 90s. It's just people thought he was crazy, but he's been proven right about all this stuff. He really knows his stuff. And he uses this term called elephant traps.
Mm-hmm.
And that's basically where you get into a group, and it doesn't matter what you all start out with good intentions. You get into this group, and you get sort of bamboozled or tricked into doing something that could basically easily get you arrested, because say the leader, even the founders of that group at times, entrap the people in that group, get them to do something that that is violent, or say you're
whatever
helping
the case may
you're helping the guns be bought or whatever, you're helping the leader out, and then the leader sells you out. That stuff is going to become a lot more common. So and usually beware the person that says, oh, we need to do something.
Well, the left,
you really need to do something.
The left will sell out anybody.
Oh yeah, but not just the left. I mean, people say, oh, I'm not going to take the vaccine, but I'm the reason I've been emphasizing what you're going to have to sacrifice in order not to take it. They're going to use your children. They're going to use collective punishment. They're going to do everything they can to entice you or coerce you into taking it. So, there's a lot of sacrifices that people may have to make that they don't realize yet. So that's why I've been trying to tell people ahead of time, plan as best as you can.
Well, you've made the right moves. You've moved, you've relocated, you've set yourself up. You are, you're not just talking the talk. You're actually doing the do.
Well, I mean, I've bought myself time. That's it. We're talking about an entire planetary prison cult.
Mm-hmm.
What does a cult do? Same things that the authorities are doing to us. They alienate you from your loved ones and your friends. You can't criticize them. And the followers of these authorities will, rationalize the behavior. Same with the elephant trap, right? You follow this leader, and if he does something that goes against what your beliefs are, well, if you're a strong enough follower, you're going to rationalize that away and say, well, it was justified what he did in this case.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So you lose the ground that you stand on. This is why I tell people, just don't follow the idols, that includes Trump. Don't follow idols. go for your ideal.
Right.
Universalize your values. If you universalize your values, you have ground to stand on. When you start sacrificing greater values for lesser values, that's when you start to lose yourself. And the goal is for them is to take away your individuality. That's what they hate most of all. Because what cults don't. If there's anything cults hate the most, it's asking questions.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All right, Sean. We'll leave it at that. It's been a good 15 minutes, and we'll get someone else on to get their. I need you to call in on the last Mike of the Night of the Year for the predictions. So if you want to take some notes for 2021, go ahead and put some predictions down. We're gonna get everyone on the show. We're gonna try and get like 30 callers, and if we can. And see if we could get predictions and get people just to see what people have to say or what people think is going to happen, right?
Well, yeah, and don't forget, if anybody wants to join Blunt and I tomorrow, I think 11 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I think that's 8 p.m.
Yes,
Pacific Time. So if anybody wants to hop on DLive and check us out.
Yes, cool, I'm on. I couldn't comment on when you guys were live and you guys were showing that video, and then you got that kid they were trying to put a mask on some kid on a plane.
Yeah.
I try to comment, but because I didn't have an account, I had to set myself up. So now I have an account, so now I could comment when you guys are live, so you guys know I'm there.
Well, about the kid, the thing is, kids know. Like, kids are actually really good at survival, right? They're really good at keeping themselves alive. Because they're not indoctrinated yet. They haven't gone through the public school system yet, so they know what's better for themselves than adults do at this point, and that's really sad. Mm-hmm. It's really sad, but thanks for having me on, and
send me a link on Skype so I could plug it in the live chat for tomorrow's show, please.
Okay, I'll try to get Blunt to help me out there,
please, and we'll talk soon. All right, God bless you.
God bless you guys. Take care. Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Sean.
Bye.
Bye. So that is our man, Sean, who's basically relocated himself and got himself prepared. And basically, let's try the Raven again and see if he picks up. It is ringing. It is ringing.
Mexico, Japan. I love China.
Well, the Raven's not picking up. I hope he's okay, because oh, I'm at work. Sorry. I'm so sorry. I did not know he was at work. I'm so sorry. So he's at work. I'm so sorry. I didn't want to bug him. I shouldn't have not called him twice. Better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. Supreme Can's offline. He's probably with family. Let me see who else we got. Hitting Stacks. Let's get Hitting Stacks. He's in my favorites here, too. Here we go. Tommy. Yo, Tommy, I've been trying to reach you. You're a lot tougher to get to the president.
Mike, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, okay. The Wi-Fi was just broken down earlier. Sorry.
No problem. And don't be sorry. What are you sorry for? It's not your fault.
Yeah. How's Merritt? What's the weather like now?
Today was actually very mild. It was like 7 centigrade.
Yeah.
7-8 degrees. So it's not bad. We're halfway through winter. I'm counting down the days so I could get my car on the road in the spring.
Yeah.
So, it's going by.
It's raining yesterday. Today's just clearing up. Today in the morning was raining and then it's clearing up again in Sydney.
Oh, good. What's the temperature there? 30 centigrade?
I think it's like in its 20s today.
Okay.
Last week it got to like 30 something, 35 plus.
Okay, pretty warm. Okay, so what is going on? You have a lot of information you sent me here on Skype. So go ahead and break it down. What's going on with this passport thing? Why do they want to inject people every 3 months?
Let's start from the beginning of Sydney COVID.
Sure, go ahead.
So basically since January, February, there wasn't much cases.
Right.
And then what happened in March, there was the so-called toilet paper crisis where the toilet paper was running out, and then there was like a small lockdown. So parks, beaches are locked down,
And there was
but people can still go to work.
Don't forget
And
the toilet paper battle royales too.
yeah, yeah, the fight between the two
Oh, not just two. There were fights everywhere.
the two whales.
Yeah. Okay, continue. Toilet papers, and then parks, recreation centers.
And then,
continue.
And then after that, all the cans of tuna were gone, and then all the Cokes were gone, and all the snacks were gone. I don't know why. In Australia, people don't seem to be as woken up as, let's say, in the US, because people here, they're buying things like snacks. Like, why would you need snacks for survival? You know what I mean? You should just get canned food, bread, things like that. I know it's weird, but then in around April, May, all of the stock is sort of back to normal. But however, some items you can't get, like some medicines is really hard to get because again they're not manufactured locally anymore. And hand wash and all the sanitary products, cleaning products have gone up in price like 10-20%.
Mexico.
Where
in
does
supermarkets,
where does all the medicines come from now?
Some from China, some from India, some from Germany. It depends on the place.
Okay. Continue.
Yeah, and yeah. So, and then in April, May, it's pretty much partially normal. You can go to places, this, that, but you have to sign your name into every restaurant or any place that you want to go, any movie theaters, etc. And if there's an outbreak, well, the police is sort of like gonna get that list, and then you're gonna get tested. So that's what's gonna happen. Victoria, I heard, is really bad. I have a colleague who's from Victoria.
That's Melbourne. That's the capital city, Melbourne. Yes.
Yeah, Melbourne. Yeah, Melbourne's like full lockdown. And then she said, if she wants to go to Melbourne for like a family, like a Christmas like gathering, she actually needs a permit. So she's actually from Melbourne, but she needs a permit to like actually go back. It's weird. I thought it's like people from Melbourne that get out need a permit, but people like Melbourne, they return, they need to get a permit and all these complications. Because Melbourne's only like recently opened up. Sydney's
right, like 3 weeks ago.
Not. Yeah, but the thing is, Sydney in the northern beaches, there's like this nursing home that had like a case, and then what happened is they're gonna lock that area down as well. Lucky I don't live there. So I haven't really experienced that of a lockdown myself. The only thing that I really felt was mainly the toilet paper, because my area, there's not much case, thankfully.
Okay, so do you think they're going to lock everything down and then ruin Christmas for everybody?
I'm not really sure, but I don't think that's going to happen to Sydney. I just don't think that's going to happen to Sydney. I don't think it will. Maybe pockets of Sydney, yes, like municipalities, city councils, particular suburbs who are like so-called at risk, labeled as at risk by the state health department. They will probably be locked and there will be testing. Other than that, the healthy suburbs, which is defined as ones that don't have much case, it will pretty much be life as normal.
So
even on the buses, like this social distance, but like most people, they don't care. They just sit next to each other. Like they don't care. Like especially in my area, like no one really cares. Like even police, nurses, and all the health workers after work, no one's wearing masks. I mean, like there's no one wearing masks in Sydney. Only very, very few people. I don't wear masks. I don't even wear masks.
So, what else you got? Keep going. You're on fire here.
What do you want to ask?
Well,
I want to make it like I want to make sure like you ask questions and then I can pinpoint to like specific answers.
Okay, well here it goes. Okay, what's going on? Okay, I know you guys right now are in this massive trade war with China. I know Australia and China are I know China's picking the fight with Australia, and I know if China loses against Australia, China's just going to say that they won, right? So what's going on with China's fishing fleet heading for Australia amid trade war? So it looks like a massive fishing fleet of many vessels is headed there to pick up fish in your waters.
That I actually haven't heard about. I've heard about the blackouts, the one on Heiser says.
Okay.
He said China didn't buy coal, and then there's like all these blackouts happening.
Right. I know the coal they've been trying to work something out with Mongolia, and that's not working out really well. So that's becoming a major issue for you guys. And then all the
China's
other ones
buying
that they
a lot
put
of
on
natural gas from Russia.
Yeah.
You know how like Russia has a problem with the EU, especially after the Maidan, the Maidan coup in 2013.
That's
where
correct.
They got
Yes.
rid of Yanukovych.
Yes. Yeah.
And then all the gas pipelines and stuff they can't really go through. So what Russia is doing is they're diversifying, they're de-dollarizing, they're dumping the dollar, and then they want to sell the natural gas to China, to Mongolia, to Japan. That's why Vladimir Putin, the president of Russia, they met with all these East Asian leaders, including like Mongolia, and then the Central Asian leaders like Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, Kyrgyzstan, Turkmenistan, all these former Soviet countries to sort of like buffer against the dollar.
Right. They were looking at the world trade.
So I think China and Russia is just going to further diversify. They're just going to further diversify.
Right. And as long as no one steps on anyone's toes, right? And then when you start seeing a little bit of conflict here, a little bit of conflict there, you're going to start to see...
Mike, to be honest, like, have you heard of a guy called Albert Pike?
Yes.
The guy who so-called predicted, I think it's just orchestrated, the so-called 3 world wars.
Mm-hmm. I heard of
I think
him,
it's just all provocation. It's just all provocation. It's going to be like something small, and then they're going to escalate it, and then it's just going to be a full-blown war as usual, and then there's going to be sanctions and stuff, and then that's going to lead to a full outbreak of war once someone hits the missile button, and everything could just spiral out of control
within seconds. But
yeah,
do you see...
is a powder keg. Yeah, it's a powder keg. Especially I know this is off topic, but especially in the Middle East, I think that's like the powder keg there. That's the biggest powder keg.
The Middle East has been in such disarray since the time of Moses, dude.
Yeah.
So there hasn't been any peace in the Middle East since then. I mean, you want to go to any part in history, you either find attacks, invasions, takeovers, resettlement, family takeover, disputes.
Yeah.
It's there's all kinds. There's just it never ends in the Middle East. So Middle East we all know is a hot topic all the time, and it's always unrest or something's happening, right? Or somebody needs to come there and bring peace.
Yeah, Mike. Let's stick with the Coveys. Like,
go ahead. Tell us
like
what's
Covey
going
focus, because this episode is all on Covey.
Right, it's on Covey passports.
Have you heard about this meme? Like, they were saying disease death per day worldwide. So there's this like meme going around. So you just type in like disease death per day worldwide COVID, and then it says every day there's about 3,000 people die of tuberculosis, 2,400 die of hepatitis B, 2,200 because of pneumonia, 2,000 because of AIDS, 2,000 malaria, and COVID is just only like 50 people like dead like average per day.
Yeah. So
like
there's more people dying of cancer and all kinds of other stuff.
Yeah.
I think there's more people getting
suicide. Yeah. It's actually
I think more people are getting hit by lightning and dying than COVID.
Yeah, than COVID. Yeah. That's
or slipping in the shower and hurting themselves.
Yeah. And I have a friend, he's Portuguese Australian, and he's like a pharmacist in a hospital. And then I asked him, like, do people have COVID there? Like, just curious, because he works in the hospital, so he has access. And he said most of the people dying are people with other disease. So, like, they've already got pneumonia, and they're, like, 80, 90 years old. They've got, like, all these diseases. And he said, like, 95 to 98% is all like recovered. There's a few criticals, but then after a week or two, proper nutrition and then going back home, sending them back home and giving them like care, they're all back to normal again. So this COVID thing, this is not that serious. You know, in essence, it's not that serious.
Okay, we got a report in right now
People
from
can say,
Matthew.
like, I'm downplaying like the COVID.
I understand. I
It's
understand.
not that serious.
No,
I mean, the reason COVID kills people is mainly because people who have other diseases, it weakens the immune system, and then they get other diseases which kills them. So it's not directly because of
Wait
COVID.
a minute. I think we have the answer to that. It's called the flu.
Yeah.
Yeah, if weakens the immune system, and then if you have something else, it might get worse. That's why people say,
Yeah.
oh, if a woman's pregnant, if you have the flu, stay away from her. You know, if you have this, stay away. Or the flu has weakened my immune system. I'm going to get better soon. Yeah. So hold on. We got a report in from Matthew saying, Mike Martins, Victoria has now closed its border to Sydney beaches and residents. So it looks like they're making some power moves there before Christmas. Tommy? I think we lost Tommy again.
Yeah.
Tommy? Hello?
Yeah.
Can you
hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, buddy.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Okay. So
the Wi-Fi is not very good.
Okay. All right. So tell us, what do you are you gonna take the vax for the passport?
Oh, hell no.
No. Okay.
Hell no. Yeah, there's apparently like a lot of health professionals in the US that like I'm talking about mainstream people, not like naturopaths and stuff, like mainstream medicine, like allopaths, right? So allopaths is like dealing with the synthetic drugs, and then naturopaths is like dealing with the natural herbs.
That's correct.
So a lot of allopath, whether they're nurses, pharmacists, doctors, other health professionals, like midwives, like a lot of people are actually coming out against the COVID vaccine because of like the potential risks, and the media doesn't report that. And in Australia, there's a party called the Voluntary Medical Objectors, and my Portuguese friend he told me not to like listen to vaccine objectors, because he said like vaccine is like the responsible thing to do. But I don't really I think this should be like it shouldn't be forced. You know, I don't think it should be forced.
Well, because if the people take the vaccine, believe they're going to be immune to this or be fixed, they don't have to worry about getting it from someone else that has it, right?
They're not going to be fixed. It's going to be the same as the flu vaccine. You know, that actually causes problems, right? I mean, when I used to work at this like this pharmacy in 2018, and then in May we had this old lady come into our shop, and then she's like all breathing heavily, and then her carer was like, she took the vaccine and then something's gone wrong, and I didn't know what to do, so I notified one of the pharmacists, because I work in a pharmacy. I'm one of like the retail like shop guys, and then I asked them like, did they take this when did they take the vaccine? And they said it was like March 2018. This is just a flu vaccine. This is like way before COVID. This is 2018, and then they say the lady has like asthma and stuff, and then when she took it, she got this bad reaction and she had to be hospitalized and she was critical. And then in May 2018, she was like in a serious but stable condition, still breathing heavily. And before that, she's never taken like any flu vaccine all her life. And that's when I firsthand witnessed like this vaccine gone wrong. And if you get any vaccine in Australia, like the company is actually immune to prosecution. So you know, the company is protected by the government, so you can't really do anything. You know.
Hold on. Okay, here it is, guys. We got the screenshot of the article here from Australian News here from Sydney. Victoria closes border to Sydney Central Coast residents as northern beaches COVID, and then it stops right there. Victoria,
that's the one, yeah. A few nursing homes had an outbreak in the nursing homes in the northern beaches. That's why they shut everything down.
Well,
and Queensland
there was a here not far from me.
Considering opening the borders, Queensland is reconsidering. I just saw it like 10 minutes ago before I jumped into this show. They said in Queensland they are using those cameras to take pictures of every single like car plate that's from New South Wales, and then they scan it, so they have a database to match any hotspots.
Oh,
so they're actually
so they're using the cameras. They're using all the stuff they've been putting up. What?
Yeah, they're screening people like from New South Wales, like heavy screening because of the Sydney outbreak. They're screening people. Because a lot of people from New South Wales, they want to go to Queensland. They don't want to pay like 1.5 million for like a 3-bed, 1 bath, 1 garage. Whilst in Queensland, they can get like a 5-bed, 2 bath
with a pool,
2 garage for like 300 to
with
500 grand Australian. Yeah, with a pool, with
Yeah.
like an actual pool.
Yeah.
Yeah, not like those tear downs in the city, Surrey Hills, where you don't even have a car space, 2-bed, 3-bed, and you're like a duplex connected both sides, left and right side, with a wall for like $2 million for a tear down, which in Louisiana you can get it for like 70, 80 grand US.
Yep. West Virginia,
and,
40
yeah,
grand.
They don't want. Yeah, they're closing the borders in Queensland, but I think eventually they'll have to reopen, because if they don't reopen, all the airlines it's gonna be dead. Because I've looked up a few flights. For example, like Sydney to like Asian countries like Thailand or Indonesia or like China or like Philippines. The tickets for like an economy flight right now, Christmas period, is like $5,000 Australian.
Whoa!
It's about 3,500 US, like right now. But then afterwards, after the New Year and the Chinese New Year, so like January and February is very expensive as well because of the Chinese New Year, as well as Australia Day, which is the 26th of January. But the ticket's gonna be like 3,000 Australian, which is 2,000 US, and then in April it's gonna go down to 1,500 Australian, which is 1,000 US, and then after that May, June, July, because you can go on those air ticket websites and then just pretend to book a flight, let's say April the 20th to like May the 15th or something, and then you get like a price guide. But as time go on, from April, May, June, the price of an air ticket is going to go down. So if you're like planning to travel, just buy a ticket for that time if you want to travel, I guess. So don't I wouldn't travel now because the ticket's too expensive.
Right. No, I'm hearing you.
So, so sooner or later they're gonna have to reopen. Like from what you can see in the air ticket prices, they're gonna have to reduce it later on, and they're gonna have to reopen. You know, they're gonna have to
figure something out, because they're in a lot of airlines are in negative territory, and
yeah, exactly. Especially in my one of my previous like a pharmacy I used to work is in the airport, like near the airport, not in the airport, but it's in a place called Mascot. You know Mascot, where the towers collapsed.
The Leaning Tower of Mascot. Yes.
There. I used to work there, and there's like literally like no tourists there anymore. It's literally non-existent.
Really?
Like, the last time I've been there, just like my bus is going past Mascot. There's like literally no tourists. Like all the Qantas offices are all closed. Like they're either working at home or they're forced to like made redundant and they work at Woolies. Because I talked to this dude like at the Woolies near Mascot, and then he said he used to work at Qantas, and then his job got deranked to like a Woolies person.
Whoa, he got deranked for saying
all the
a word?
airlines is down. No. He got deranked because Qantas, they can't afford it anymore because of the March 2020, and also all the airline closed.
I got that. Yeah, that's when I shorted all those airlines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Anyways,
toilet
listen,
paper crap.
Tommy, we're gonna let you go. Everyone's been getting about the same time limit. I'm gonna get one more caller on before we wrap things up.
Can I have like 5 minutes more? I'll be like really quick.
Go.
I think this COVID passport thing, they're gonna have to reopen it sooner or later. But the vaccine, I wouldn't take it. I personally wouldn't take it. I mean, let's say if you're like from Sydney, you want to go to like say Queensland, just don't use a plane, get a train or something instead. You know, because
what if they block those? What if they make it what if you need a travel card, like we were seeing earlier, that you need some sort of travel card on you?
Mike, I'm gonna say this: I would rather have a travel card than to get a vaccine card. I just don't want a vaccine card.
Mhm.
I would rather have like a permit, like a COVID test permit, than to actually get the vaccine injected into my body and then, and then travel. I would rather like get the permit, but not the vaccine if you don't have to.
Mhm.
I mean, there's got to be a way to like divert out of it. Like there's got to be a way that you can divert out of the COVID. You can say like, you do it for like religious reasons or any other reasons. There's a website called imoparty.com. It's called Informed Medical Options Party. It was based in south of Sydney in the Sutherland region, and they also have one in Queensland. And that party it's against fluoride in the water, as well as forced medicines and forced vaccines. And I'm actually really supportive of the party because, yeah, vaccine shouldn't be mandatory. It should be an option. It can't be like you're forced.
Mm-hmm. We got Maria Gee saying all COVID tests come back positive, and that's just what it is. That's the issue we're having. And there's countries that are standing up to this, right? Iceland, Portugal, and Ireland. They're standing up to this and say this is a bunch of crap.
I remember last week I was about to say Iceland kicked out the bankers, like kick out the Rothschild banks because of the Sigmund guy. Yeah. And because of that, they call him like corrupted in the Panama Papers, which is all framing, which is all like made up fake news story. I'm not going to believe that. They're just going to make him look bad for like freeing Iceland.
Guys, I left the link for Blunt News there. Blunt News is going to go live tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I think.
Yeah. Mike, I can't be on the show on the Thursdays because of because I usually work on Thursday. I'm not sure when your next show will be for the Christmas one and the next Mike in the Night.
Trends in the housing market, you mean?
Yeah, trends in the housing. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, we can just do a show together sometime in January. We'll just do a show together when you're free, and we could talk about the Opal Tower, the different, all the crap
Mike, if you have time, I'm going to do the 10 reasons why I'm going to leave Sydney, but I can't do it now because there's no time.
Right.
But I'm happy to come back to a show another time.
Yeah, we'll just do a 12-minute show, like independent show.
Like if you want or an independent show, or like Mike in the Night, Mass Exodus 2021, or some other topic. I just want to focus on the same topic.
That's a good idea. I think I'm going to get people to call in and give us the top 5 or 10 reasons why they're leaving their major city, or why they want to get out, or why they left.
And do it on like Mike in the Night or something.
Yeah, we'll do a Mike in the Night mass exodus talk. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Because I can't be on the trends in the housing market mainly because of working. But I'm happy for you to like clip the video. So like in a 2-3 hour Mike in the Night, and we have like a 20-minute video. You can just trim it down and then put it in like the housing crisis. Because I want, like, I'm not trying to be a hero, but I want people to actually see it. And in my spare time right now, not only watching Heiser, but I'm also watching your playlist, your new playlist on I Left the Big City.
And you're watching that?
Yeah, I'm watching that. I'm actually watching video by video. Because, no, I watched all your merit harassment series back in March.
That's a good one.
Yeah, and he tried like so many fake names, like Mike.
I love it, dude. It's forming an opinion.
But Mike, you know who the haters really are? Either like the Democrats, Antifa, as well as the real estate agents. They're the people that hate you because when you say the truth about Sydney housing going down, all the real estate like agents are like panicking. They don't want to crash, but the crash is coming.
Okay, listen, I got somebody who needs to come on the show. He is someone we should try to get on 3 weeks now, because
all right.
Yeah, it's Dr. Mysterio is gonna come on.
All right, cool, Mike. I'll see you next time. I'll definitely prepare the 10 reasons and finish watching the finish watching the I Left the Big City series. I'm up to the 30-minute video. And I saw a house. It's like so big.
Oh, like, yeah, that house in Sydney is like $15 million.
It's like 5 to 10 beds, for like $300,000. It's a bargain, but let's say if you want to get that in Australia, you can either move to like Queensland or Western Australia. There's a few like small towns you can get, but Victoria, New South Wales, you can't have a chance. And Tasmania's been going like tripling prices or quadrupling. So yeah, I'll catch you later on another time.
Okay, brother, take care.
All right, take care, man.
Bye.
See you.
Okay, guys, we got Dr. Mysterio is going to come on the show. Now, Dr. Mysterio was the guy who basically predicted, Dr. Mysterio?
Yeah, I'm here. I just got to turn down my live feed.
All right.
Dr. Mysterio is on the line.
All right, buddy. So we try to have you back on the show last week because a lot of people wanted to hear from you again, because what happened was you predicted about something happening on Canadian shores and Chinese in Canada doing military drills, and you actually discussed you talked about that before any media picked up on it here in Canada.
Well, I think it's just a matter of being exposed to the right sources.
Right.
I mean, now it's come out publicly in the media that Mr. Trudeau has permitted Chinese troops to winter train on Canadian soil, not to mention the episodes from about 2 years ago where the Chinese women were training on Salt Spring Island. And, I guess it is what it is, but diplomatically, it is not that sound an idea, and it certainly does dictate to us something of Mr. Trudeau's opinions regarding the Chinese dictatorship, right? When he stated publicly his support for it, for the way that they had turned their economy around. So, as far as Mr. Trudeau goes, I'm going to say this for the benefit of every Canadian citizen who's out there. And this is very, very serious. But you can take this to the bank, and I'll bet you, if you go before human rights tribunals or plead your case before immigration authorities at a more reasonable spot, you will be able to leave Canada permanently.
Okay.
And you will be able to leave Canada under conditions of mercy that are even guaranteed by the UNHCR. And that is as follows. Mr. Trudeau, a while back, stated how much that he did not like the thought of an old stock Canadian, and that he found it objectionable, and that they were replaceable. And frankly, we will replace you. That statement is well publicized. It's been covered in all sorts of media. And if that is not a threat to genocide, I don't know what is.
Now, let me ask you, are you still in Macon, Georgia?
No, I have flown out from there, and I took a private jet, actually, back to closer to your territory.
Okay.
But I'm still south of the border.
Okay, so people that are tuning in are asking in the comments, this is Dr. Mysterio from the United States, in the United States, who has or worked with, I guess, Canadian interests, so to say. I can't say too much, but understands the underlying issues because, let's say, he was appointed to certain things that basically he, yeah. So we'll keep it at that. So tell us, what's going on, honestly? What do you see happening? Any shaking, any tremors going on? Anything we should start looking out for, or what?
Well, I think that we all have to pay attention to the electromagnetosphere, of the planet, and that we also have to be very mindful and keep our consciousness vibe high and try to be as happy as possible as we go through this supposed trigger event on the 21st, because there's been so much hype, around certain circles about the 21st being some sort of a watershed event. Now, I'm not going to try to have a crystal ball to say what that is, but certainly I think that we can see some sort of a watershed event, and we're hoping that it's going to be just the one that we're all hoping for, which is a raising of human consciousness and perhaps the trigger event for the Great Awakening. That is certainly the world that I have been trying to visualize. All right, activate upon.
Be happy. Stay positive.
Staying positive and staying grounded is very important. And so getting outside and having exercise and being able to just clear your mind, and also the way looking forward is going to be able to build your family with other people that are around, because there's going to be a synergistic economy that's going to be created by people if the right or the correct side can come through on this spiritual battle that we seem to be locked in horns with this thing that we would otherwise call the cabal or the deep state. I've always preferred the term Bilderbergers, but the Bilderbergers might be limited somewhat by geography,
right,
to the to the European area. But however, the powers that control this world are much larger than that, and they're probably even much larger than the parties over in Asia. So I think that we have to look critically at the media story that came out about the 50,000 Chinese being bombed and killed in Maine from a bunker buster bomb. And I think we have to look at that perhaps as disinformation, because certainly we know that on the left, there's been entire control of the media, and censoring of anything conservative has just been, paramount to their agenda, even if the person's perspective is on a reasonable basis politically. But certainly right now, that is what we can see happening, and they're telling us right what they're going to do, right, with the Great Reset. Well, I want to bring something out here, because I believe that we can visualize the future. Well, yes, there is a book that you can get from Amazon called COVID-19, The Great Reset by Klaus Schwab. But there's also a book that you can buy from Amazon as well called Draining the Swamp by Harvey Francis Bernard, which is about Nizara and Jazara protocol, which supposedly is the alternative. Well, given what I've seen and what I've heard about Klaus Schwab's The Great Reset, it's got to be one of the most scary publications that anybody has put forth on this planet in the past 20 years, especially with the way that they want to disrupt property rights.
Yeah, that's a huge one. That's huge, because again, we are born with a lot of God-given rights, right? And when they start taking away what we're given at birth, it starts to really weigh on your conscience. You start feeling like a sellout. You start feeling like you've done something wrong, when it's not us that's doing anything wrong. It's the control mechanisms that they're putting in place, and to make people feel guilty by calling them a racist or whatever they have to do to put you in a position where you shouldn't be putting yourself into. You know what I'm saying? So then let me ask you something. You could just jump on a private plane and fly anywhere. That's fine. But what happens to people like us when we need to board a plane and and their mandatory vaccination cards or whatever the hell you want to call them, or scanner, they scan you to see if your medical history and all that stuff. What happens to us when we can't board a private plane?
If we can go with the premise, okay, that the good side has already won,
right,
then I would say that the vaccine is maybe a distraction. War with China is a distraction. All this is a distraction to keep us living in fear. If we go through and we get a raising in consciousness on the 21st, wouldn't that be something else? And it would just be the sort of common sense thing that you think might find us a way out of this. But I'm going to go back to an interview with Mr. Bill Wood from about 2012, when he was talking about Project Looking Glass.
Right.
And in Project Looking Glass, he was questioned at one point during the interview what he saw happening. And he described the constriction of the timelines from December 21st, 2012 would be down to one timeline with two possible outcomes. This is very well illustrated on Dylan Lewis Monroe's Deep State mapping project, the COVID 5G map. You can see it.
I've seen that map. That thing's enormous.
Yes, it is absolutely quite big, and you can download a high quality PDF file that you can actually zoom in on. But if you look at that, Bill Wood says that at a certain point, a certain series of events would force a certain group to go insane. I present to you the world before you right now. I'm speechless. When I saw this interview, I was absolutely speechless because nothing can convince me otherwise, because it is insanity. We don't know why the politicians go along with the agenda. We don't know what blackmail or whatever that is being held over their heads. I have an idea, but I'm not prepared to announce it publicly right now.
Right.
Certain cards have to be kept close to our chest for the sake of the future, and for the sake of the fight of the future, and for the sake of humanity. That's the thing. Now
I know you. Hold on a sec. I know you have you got a bit of big credentials behind you. I know you've worked with some pretty big presidential campaigns, and I know you know more than the average. Let's say, I don't even know how to put this, but like, how can I word this? Are we going to win this war?
If we get the awakening that we're looking for, yes, there's an 80% probability that the timeline will resolve itself to the positive. Now, 80% is a heck of a lot better than 50-50.
Mm-hmm.
And all I can say is the 21st is supposed to be the trigger event, but I can't say what shape or whatever is going to happen. But look at it this way. They made an error with the Mayan calendar when they didn't reconcile the dates correctly between the Julian and Gregorian calendar, and it was out by 8 years. So that puts us where we are right now. The insanity that Bill would talk about is definitely prevalent all around us right now. But not only do we have the beginning of a new long count Mayan calendar, we also have the end of the Yuga cycle from the Indian calendar. Now, the Yuga cycle has 4 yugas, and the last one is the Kali Yuga. And they go in a descending level of duration from what I understand, 4, 3, 2, 1 kind of thing. And at the end of the last yuga, morality is supposed to be at a low and corruption is supposed to be at a high, which pretty much it is right now. And after we go through a rebirth, a rebirth, if you will, a lifting of consciousness, even the Hindu religion has talked about this. I'm not an expert by any means on their beliefs, but while doing the inner work that has allowed me, in order to keep my mind uncluttered and to be able to observe the intelligence with which I have been given a gift by God to be able to operate on. It's a mission that I have to take sacredly. And I don't know what it's going to bring for us tomorrow, but everything is conditional for me till about the new year right now.
Right.
And I think that we have to look south of the border because certainly the election south of the border has been paramount and front and center on a worldwide scale with this COVID thing. The American election has been front and center. It's been going on since November 3rd,
mm-hmm.
which was incidentally yours truly's birthday. And if my life wasn't weird enough already, it certainly gets weirder than even that. But I'll leave that for another phone call. So I think that with their, I just want you to keep you and your shop there going, because you have a very important role to play in future society. If we get what we're calling the 5D Earth, the most important thing is going to be to remember to teach kids how to play.
Right.
You have a mission in life by opening that store that has been given to you as part of God's plan for all of us.
Right.
I've been given certain gifts myself, and I can feel the truth in my discussion, and I can feel the truth in my vision. But it's only because I have to envision a better world. Anything less, free will not being able to reign supreme,
right,
is going to be the death of us as a species.
That's correct.
I will not live in a world like that. I will lay down my life in the name of freedom before I allow that to happen. And with that, I wish you and your viewers a very, very, very good night.
All right. Thank you. So, guys, that is Mr. Mysterio on the show, and had some very strong words to say. So, guys, I'm going to be wrapping it up. It's my third hour. I'm coming into my third hour now. I'm running into my third hour. Hold on. Who was that was calling? Somebody just tried calling me right now. Who is that? Ooh, it's DeRico. Yo, D, what's up?
Hey, yeah?
Yeah, right here, buddy. How you doing?
Good. Okay. Mysterio's like totally on the ball. Cassidy, Kerry Cassidy, did the Bill Wood interview like 3 years after I hooked up with those dudes back in Ecuador.
Right.
They're on the ball. Okay. The 21st, we got the basically the way the planets move.
Right.
We got Jupiter and Saturn coming in together, right?
That's
and
correct.
We all know that basically Christmas is Sagittarium. It was basically hijacked by the Romans a long time ago. Like, Mysterio's right on the ball. You have such good guys on this thing. Like, so good.
Dude, this guy has like security clearance at levels that I don't even know exist.
Once you get those security clearances, it's really not all that great. You just talk to the same dudes at the coffee station. Now, the best part is, I just wanted to say that guy was totally on the ball. We all love you guys. We're going to make this one. And this was one that I always took away with me, was the Green Lantern Corps. In brightest day and darkest night, no evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware my power, Green Lantern's light. And that's what you do, man. And
That's
you're
right.
right. He's right, man. You got to play.
Yeah.
Even you got to play. You got to show your kids and everyone around us how easy it is to laugh.
Yep.
Because that is our truest power. That's the craziest part. The more you learn, the more you laugh.
Well, who says you can't be happy all the time? Say what you like, but I'm still going to try.
Exactly. That's exactly it. The evil might. Because it's only in your mind that people are going to attack you. And you just kind of laugh it off. You got to always laugh. The most powerful mages I've ever met laugh like a giggling idiot. I shit you not. It works
No. It's just been 3 hours and I'm starting to
I know, you're tired as hell. I was listening to it all, man. Trust me.
Good.
You're all on the page.
Are you driving? Where are you?
Oh, I'm stuck. I'm about like 3 blocks away from Raven right now.
You're 3 blocks away from the Raven?
Yes.
Holy smokes.
I told you. This is the way the world works. Yeah, I wanted to get Lily Poo to pick me up a new place.
Oh, okay. You were looking to pick up a place to live. Oh, yeah, that's right. I think you messaged me a few weeks back, right?
Yeah. I found another sweet spot. Damn, I find these so sweet spots in this world. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's about getting off your keister and moving around and looking.
once again, we have the internet. Just open your eyes.
Yeah. It's a free
No
world.
one
It's a
listens
free
to half
world.
the stuff.
It depends how you,
Free
you know, it
will.
depends how you pay for it. But if you pay for it the right way, it'll last you for, things will last forever.
Exactly, baby, and that's the play. Remember all those like the Carl Schwabs and all of those giggly poops, right? Like it's sort of like the Bitcoin hustle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, from a network security and basically like we'll talk about like Project Echelon and Project Hammer and Anvil crap, right? Okay, those projects basically are just big ports, scanners, and they all end up in like Utah. Like, yeah, dude. A good database analyst just can roll through this stuff. It's so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Albert Pike, right? Well, technically, when he did his little version, right, it's actually grammar, logic, rhetoric, not grammar, rhetoric, logic.
Right.
Like little things like that. That's the trivenium and the quadrennium. Like, yeah, man, this is awesome. You guys did such a good show, baby.
Woo!
The thing. Woo!
So
Anyway,
call
guys,
Lenny
I'll
Poo.
talk to you later.
Lenny Poo is asking you to call her.
Well, I don't have her number. You just pop that to me.
Yeah, you can add her on Skype. I'll give you
I
her
don't
Skype.
do anything with Skype. It's just it's like a Q-Intel Pro, man. Just once again, these things are all Q-Intel Pro. It's sort of like Parler is all Secret Service. That's why they got to give you, when you log into that, they get your phone number from it. And when they do that, that gives them all triangulation, right? And then they basically source out all of that port zone.
Yeah.
There was another one that we use in our world. I could probably find it up in like 3 seconds, but it's like Jingle or something like that. And it's like end-to-end encryption. And you do like a Cyrillic, non-Cyrillic, DES, AES, and then basically you have a 15 password key. Easy peasy, baby.
Easy peasy.
Easy peasy. Lemon squeeze. Anyways, have a great night, everyone. And
God bless you, D.
Ciao, babe. I love you.
Ciao. So that is D in the house, D Rico in the house. He is in Manitoba. So he did message me a few weeks back. So I think I have Lenny's phone number here. I'm gonna just message him her phone number. So this way he could talk to her about buying a property. He's been looking to buy a home somewhere in that area, a few blocks away from the Raven. So it's a small world. People meet up from the channel all the time. They meet up from the channel. People meet up in New Zealand. People meet up in Australia. People meet up. People have met up in the UK, parts of America, like Dano and I think Lord Humongous are going to meet up or something. So this is really good that our community exists outside of all this. You know, we have a community outside of this. You know what I'm trying to say, right? Outside of this social internet construct, we still unite outside. We find a way, like-minded minds unite, right? So anyways, guys, I'm going to be wrapping it up.
Join us in the chat room. You see
Thanks, guys, for joining, being part of the channel. Remember, guys, stay safe. And if you can't stay safe, please be careful. Thanks for watching. God bless. See you on our